How about those Panthers, folks?
Oh! Big win.
Actually, tuned that game in just in time. They were in overtime, and about 30 seconds later. How many?
About 30, man.
30 seconds later, Jokinen scored that nice goal, and they win the game in overtime. They needed that game bad. Now, let's not start with that hockey talk. Although I thought it was kind of cute when Beaucamper yesterday was talking to Jacques Martin, and he said, "Is it true that you're a dumb frog?" You just don't say those things, Kim.
He did?
No, he did not say that. Of course he didn't say that. He said, "Hey, Jacques, how'd you like the scene in Magnolia when all those frogs were falling out of the sky?"
I saw a headline that caught my attention today in the Sun Sentinel.
Why do you sound like you're so far away today?
I don't know.
Is that my ears are plugged up, or what is that all about? No, I hear myself.
Hello, 1, 2. This is a test. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
You sound like you're on Uranus or something. On Pluto.
Pluto?
You know, that thing that they sent up there, that shuttle thing, whatever that was, that's going to take 9 years to get to Pluto?
Yeah.
And then what?
I like this headline. Don't bet on later school start date. I didn't know you could get down on that.
Oh, yeah. Eddie K says it's like 7 to 5 it passes.
Did you hear what happened yesterday with the state and the horse racing down here?
No, I did not. Oh, wait a minute. Started out with hockey there with Geldy. Now we moved to horse racing, okay?
Oh
boy.
This is a gambling thing.
We already owe points. We're in the minus column.
No, this is not a good thing.
Yeah.
The division of
probably is not a good thing.
The division of pari-mutuels sued took the case to a higher court to try to get the signals.
Hebrew National, a higher authority, yeah.
Stop between Pompano and Gulfstream and Calder and Gulfstream.
Yeah.
So as of today, there's no more simulcast wagering at those places. You have to go to Gulfstream if you want to play.
Oh, brother. Wait a minute. Hasn't Gulfstream been saying, don't come here yet, we're not done with our construction, go to Calder and watch Gulfstream?
Right.
Haven't they been saying that?
Yes.
So what was their change in my heart all of a sudden?
They have continued to pursue this lawsuit because they say that this is against the statutes to have inter-track wagering. And despite the fact that 2 courts ruled in favor of the tracks, the division continued with the suit, and finally they found a court that ruled in their favor.
Yeah.
So they shut it down as of this morning.
Isn't that great? Well, you're screwed then.
Yep.
On a Wednesday, no less? You're going to have to go over to Gulfstream.
Well, you know what? They're having a big stakes race there on Saturday, and they're not ready to accommodate the crowd.
Yeah.
There were 2,500 people
So then why don't they just say,
we
don't want that. Go ahead and do whatever you want. Why don't they just say, we appreciate the court's ruling and yada yada, but you do
because
whatever you
the head
want.
of the division, I'll tell you why, because our governor doesn't want
Your fat-ass
expansion
governor.
of gambling.
Yeah.
That's why.
He wants you to put the money on the lotto, baby. That's a good bet.
It's like 2 weeks ago, they stopped poker tournaments from being played in the pari-mutuels. They can only be played at the tribal places.
Why the hell is that?
Why do you think? Who's behind that?
42 degrees on Friday and 40 degrees on Saturday. Boy, don't forget, there's no such thing as global warming.
What's it going to be in Detroit?
When are you going to be there?
Monday.
Oh, I don't know that far ahead. Don't ever plan that far ahead. It's going to be dark. Morning, noon, and night. It will be dark.
And cold?
In Detroit. It'll be, like Ray Nagin would say, it would be chocolate. So take a lot of your extra pills there for your diabetes because it'll be like heavy chocolate when you go to Detroit.
Yeah, and cold?
And not real cold. There's no winter this year. I'm telling you right now. There's no such thing. Global warming. 2005 was the warmest year in the world on record since 1898. Over 100 years. Probably just a coincidence, wouldn't you think?
Oh, yeah.
Certainly has nothing to do with big business just polluting the hell out of the environment for fun and profit. Has nothing to do with these Nazis running your country. Although now it's great. We can goose step together. We can all goose step together. You got the fat-ass governor there. You got your Dumbo president. Now we got Stephen Harper, who makes Hitler look like a Sunday school kid. There we go. It's just the way things are going.
Everything
so
that
I
we
did actually
vote for,
tune in
this
just in
governor...
time to see the Panthers win. That must be their lucky charm.
Every time we vote for something, the governor tries to change it.
And I find out through a very good source, since Alan Cohen was giving you a song to dance, see, what they're trying to do is manipulate the media. Everybody jump on the bandwagon to save the franchise, which they're in big trouble. But not only, and I, as a season ticket holder, I get these offers like if you buy a soda and a large donut and a large soda, you get 4 free tickets. What? And they count those as the attendance. Well, who are they kidding? But I find out that Dave Strader, who's the TV voice of the Panthers when he's not busy doing the NBC, when Jiggs McDonald isn't making a fool out of himself, Dave Strader has been under tremendous duress. He got the message from the organization, when they were really losing like every game there.
What, give the wrong score?
Well, just about. Just about. In other words, they got to like blue sky it real big time, which they've always been like that. Very thin-skinned, very uptight about any criticism. They're the worst. They're absolutely.
They're like that with these radio shows.
Yeah. Remember the BM thing that we went through on the station years ago? When Chris Moore came in to screen the calls? Well, they've always been like that, but now they've reached a level of hysteria. So Strader, I guess, is not too happy because they're making him try to, like, really blue sky everything. And, in fact, I noticed Denise Potvin even made a crack last night in overtime about there was a bad play. And Horton made a really bad shot, missed the net on practically a breakaway. He said, well, you can try to, like, accentuate the positive, but you got to get that shot on goal. I could tell what he was referring to there. They're under a lot of duress. Like that kid that wore the skirt to school. They're under a lot of duress. Well, it's just the way it goes. You gotta lie to the public. So I'm thinking that Greg in his spare time, and by the way, I'm off the air, I'll tell you some interesting things. I had a good chat with Joe Bell yesterday. That whole 10 or 11-year deal with Greg, that has nothing to do with management or anything.
So what they call a golden parachute.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It has to do, remember when the company went public and they gave him 80 billion shares of stock or something like that? All these deals are like incestuous deals, all inside deals. But speaking of Joe, who's a great guy, I was shocked because I talked to him for about 40 minutes yesterday. Because he's only been there a very short period of time, but he doesn't have any idea where the bodies are buried in that place because he's been even in another building all this time over at KISS, so he doesn't know what the stories are. So I'm leaving it up to you and Mad Dog, especially you guy, and George, of course, has got to sit down for hours and let him know what's been going on there for the last few years. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'll give you an example. He said to me, I thought you were just, because I brought up Joyce and we're talking a little bit about corporate, and and he said, well, is it true? What is it that she's got against the fart sounds? He said, I thought you were kidding when you were saying that on the air. I said, no, if we ask her if we can do anything, the answer is always the same.
No.
Yeah, it's always no. Can we say hello? No. Goodbye? No. That's it. So I think he's going to bat for us on the fart sounds, which would be, I can live without them, but that would be quite a major accomplishment.
How about the English sounds?
No, actually, in fact, he said we could all go over to the West Coast and fart in Joyce's face, then we can play them on the air.
Boy, I'll tell you, that's a Hall of Fame move, a guy who can restore flatulence.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty ballsy for this company. Really something. So we're making a little bit of progress, but you guys are going to have to clue him in on what's, in fact, tell him about your 18 suspensions. He'll get a big kick out of that. He couldn't believe that my checks consistently weren't showing up on time, which hopefully, let's make sure it all shows up today, but I'm confident it will.
We talked about one of my suspensions.
I beg your pardon?
We did. We talked about one of my suspensions. He asked me about it.
Yeah, and?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Was that the one that had to do with that baseball team that doesn't want to play in Florida anymore except for another 8 or 10 years?
I can't talk about it.
Oh, okay. Well, it's on my time now, though.
I talked to him about it.
It's on my show.
But, yeah, I mean, basically.
I don't think you're going to be getting suspended no mo. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
no mo.
I think they want me to work.
Mm-hmm. Well, that may not be all good, though. We don't want to get too carried away with that.
No, I think I need some time off.
Well, let's talk about Jeffrey Lurie and David Sampson. Come on. Let's talk about that food at the ballpark.
I love my work.
Let's talk about Wayne and that bad complexion, that skinhead. Well, I'll tell you, everything he's touched. Isn't it amazing how he's touched? It's it started with that AutoNation thing, man. Remember?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, everything he touched started turning into like manure. Not that he's missing any meals or anything like that.
No, I was on a boat that went past his house. His house is a tourist attraction.
Is it really? You mean like Al Goldstein's used to be?
For a different reason.
Yeah. Did you ever see that? I never saw it.
I never saw Al Goldstein's
He had the big ceramic hand there with the middle finger up in the air. It was really something.
Yeah, I never saw it.
And, of course, the government took him down like they do to everybody, sooner or later, They destroyed his life.
But I went on a party on one of those boats that goes goes up the intercoastal, and when they go by the area where Wayne's house is, they point it out. He doesn't have a house, he has an area.
Rocks.
He doesn't have a house, he has an area.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got an area all right.
Wrecked him.
Now, when you go to Detroit, I think what I'll do, when are you leaving?
Monday.
Oh, we got a long time. I'll make up a list of all these great restaurants. They're not there anymore.
They're not there anymore.
Just pretend that you're going there. Oh, boy.
I checked on them. None of them are there.
In fact, downtown, there was a Polynesian restaurant called the Chintiki on Bagley Street, right off Michigan Avenue. Oh, man, that place was just fabulous.
You know, the best restaurant in Detroit right now is the one at the Greektown Casino.
Do you know that there's not even a London Chop House anymore? That's been gone for years.
I do know that.
Wow, that was a great place.
The
Although very,
AC
very expensive, not for schleppers.
I used to eat there when I did Dolphin games years ago.
Well, you must have been making the big bucks because London Chop House used to have to pay extra for the butter. Everything was a la carte. Butter, salt, I mean, whatever it was, they would put it on the tab.
Yeah, but it was one of the great restaurants anywhere.
It really was. Well, that's when Detroit was a different place.
Well,
before they started singing that "Burn Baby Burn" crap, you know. That's when Motown was going big on Grand River Avenue. It was a thrill.
Who was Motown named after?
Oh boy, you know, mark the time, folks. 10:09, Wednesday, January 25th. He just can't stop. He cannot stop. Can't control yourself. No wonder he hates you like poison. You got a not so magnificent obsession with that child. No, Joe told me that they parted. He was very gentlemanly about it. Your friend, when they parted company, and I guess he would have to be. He's getting paid for a couple months for doing nothing, but
he took the high road when he left.
Yeah, listen. As far as I'm concerned, he could take any road just as long as he hopped on it and kept going.
I beat you up for that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you sooner or later you come back to this. He was right about that. You're obsessed.
Down and dirty.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh man! So we got Curtis today in the rotating rotating Mo spot.
Yep.
And then we got Geldy tomorrow and Friday, and then I don't think they have any idea what they're going to do yet. Now you're not still pushing for Boat Camper in there every day, are you? You're off of that kick.
I'm not pushing anything.
The hell you're not. You are so full of it, man. You like to do a little pushing behind the scenes for your pals.
All I did was ask George
just
to
like
put his
Zagacki,
name in
it. As a matter of fact, I think you should know that Zagaki's in the running on our poll, although he's fallen behind John Kerry.
I didn't
Someone
give
who badly needs
name.
a personality transplant. In fact, I'll tell you who I voted for on the personality transplant. He was on Wheel of Fortune last night. Bob Greasy. If there's a more dull person on the face of the earth, I've never met him. And believe me, I'm not just saying that from TV, because I worked with Bob on those hurricane games, on TV that one year. Man, is he dull.
There are people who think that John Kerry is the front runner right now.
That's a pretty sad commentary, isn't it? The Democrats, once again, with nobody out there. Howard Dean's the man, baby. Howard Dean is lean and mean.
Yeah, Joe Biden didn't do a very good job in these years.
No, Joe Biden's, he's another waffler. He's all over the place. He's as phony as a $72 bill.
Well, they're all phonies.
So, in other words, you don't want to say that Bob Greasy's a boring guy. That would be bad.
No, I like Bob.
No, now see, you keep confusing things. I don't dislike him. I wouldn't say I like him either. He's so boring that I don't really have any feelings about him. But he's just dull, so dull. Although I'd rather hear him doing the color on any game than Phil Simms. I will say that.
I love Phil Simms.
Get out of here on the ball games.
Yes.
Oh,
I think he's great.
Oh my God! Wow, I think I'm going to have a relapse. I'm going back to bed. He never shuts up. Bop, 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 bop. He's just brutal. He's like an Anglo Denise Potvin. Bop, 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 bop. Oh, God, is he bad. Drives me. And that phony time. They got a lot of time. Oh, that phony effect. He's like a male Nancy Grace with that phony drawl,
He's from Kentucky.
Kentucky, my ass. Okay, so is Jim Bunning, and he belongs in a mental institution.
But that's where he got the accent from. He grew up in Kentucky.
Did you see Alito was whining and dining with Jim Bunning yesterday? Because he's a big Phillies fan. He had some old Phillies memorabilia, and he had Bunning autograph it. And he said, Bunning said, now you got my vote. Like, it's a big surprise. I mean, this guy's 80 yards to the right of Hitler, Bunning, and that's the way it goes. In fact, Bunning's commenting as he was leaving. He said, okay, Sam, I'm going to vote for you, and now let's you and I go get them faggots. It was pretty good. I was impressed. Well, listen, it's 10:13 already, and we're just rambling on here. Now, quit with that horse racing crap, will you, please? And that hockey talk.
I'm pretty upset about this.
About what?
About
I don't
what
blame
the
you.
state is doing.
I don't blame you. At first, they tell you to go over to Calder and bet Gulfstream. Then they tell you can't see Gulfstream there. Well, I'd go there and do a dump right in the infield.
Well, it's not Calder's fault. And it's not Gulfstream's fault.
Yeah.
The place to go dump is on Dave Roberts'
state,
desk.
Man. It's the state of tropical depression.
The place to, if you want to dump, Dave Roberts' desk.
Okay.
Call and make an appointment. 850-488-9130.
Okay.
That's where the division
I'm going to work on that. After I go to Niagara this weekend, I'll eat several free meals, and I'll be there on Monday to do a number on his desk.
All right. Have a good day.
Have a great Wednesday. A great betting-free Wednesday.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
Life in Paris nice can get boring. Mahjong, tournaments, and shuffleboard. Or this, if you think that's funny, buddy, a little laugh on you, 'cause you're sure gonna miss me. You bastards will miss me. That's right, you're gonna miss me. I cashed my check and bought a Mercury. A white one with a great big bench seat. I got some ointment for the rash that's waiting me from all of your rates and dingleberries. Watching TV poker and just organizing. I put barcodes on my baggy checkered pants. I may have one vein in the grave, and I got to buy my own pizza. But you're sure gonna miss me. Now that poker can't miss me. Well, you're sure gonna miss me.
There's the mustache lady on CNN. You see her?
Her name's Lucia. Whoa. Hey now.
Was that right? Was I exaggerating or what?
No, she trims that down nicely, doesn't she? The only thing
she got
trim on
out of sorts when you said that. She stood up and started
I see.
Getting hysterical.
What's the matter?
I got the audio on that. I'll play that in a minute or two. Hear the mustache lady.
I thought it was
a
bit you were playing.
No, it is not. 10:16 already. We better get with it. Hey, listen.
I know that the Lord even loves Neil Rogers.
Who sounds like a moron every time he speaks.
It's the way God wants it to be.
Wants to take a city and cover it in sweeps. Ray Nagin can.
Ray Nagin can?
Ray Nagin can. Ray Nagin can, 'cause he wants to make New Orleans taste good.
And I don't care what people are saying.
Sounds like Jesse Jackson.
We as black people.
His comments are bizarre.
Surely God is mad.
He compares the locals to a Willy Wonka bar.
Chocolate.
Ray Nagin can. Yes, Ray Nagin can. Ray Nagin can, 'cause he wants to make New Orleans taste good.
It's time for us to come together. It's time for us to rebuild a New Orleans, the one that should be uptown or wherever they are. This city will be chocolate, a chocolate New Orleans.
He never takes the blame for anything he says.
Chocolate at the end of the day.
Put that chocolate in some coffee and you'll off Juan Valdez. Ray Nagin can. Ray Nagin can.
You know I can.
Ray Nagin can, 'cause he wants to make New Orleans taste good.
You can't have New Orleans no other way. It wouldn't be New Orleans.
Very angry. Because guess what? Everybody in America got a mind, but where is mine? That's what I want us to see. Where is my mother? And I'm angry with the world.
Where's her what?
They can parade around here and talk about Mardi Gras and what they want to do with New Orleans. Well, what about these 3,000 and some people missing? And one of them is my mama. I'm sick of these people. I really am sick of these people.
Well, me too. And Mama's dead, by the way.
Oh, is she?
Didn't you just see the update on there?
Well, C is not exactly the right word. I mean, it was up there.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying no attention.
No, but they had the update, and they showed the close-up, and she's really psychotic. Now, I don't blame her because Mama's dead, but they showed the close-up, man. She said, don't give me no lip. And you're making fun of her just because she's got a mustache.
Not just.
Her mama's dead, along with a whole bunch of other people, which, let's see, Mel Gibson needs a personality transplant. And then it says, doi, doi, doi.
Doi, 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 doi.
Forever. From Hillary in Jacksonville. Oh, thanks a lot, Hillary. Hillary. Oh, they had a poll on Hillary. You going to vote for Hillary if she runs? And about 6 people said, yeah,
don't.
sure.
Please don't.
Oh, no. You know something? Maybe John Kerry's not such a bad idea after all. Maybe he might butch up between now. Look what happened to Al Gore, how he butched up.
Well, bring him back then.
No, I don't think we want to go that far. Anyway, here's now, let's see, what was yesterday's poll? Oh, Chris Penn is dead first. We better do that. The dead people.
We don't know why.
We got more dead people in Iraq, but we don't know who they are or how many or anything about it because they quit reporting on that a few days ago.
I didn't even know Chris Penn was gay.
Chris Penn is not gay.
Well, you know, he's dead.
Oh, no, but Rip Taylor's still alive, so I guess he balances him out. Yeah, I Googled that this morning. Rip Taylor is still alive. How do you like that? That jackass that called yesterday. Oh, he probably is dead. He's gay. Yeah, only gay people die. Keep that in mind, all you little kids out there. Oh, speaking of gay, man, that Supernatural show, which George did not watch last night.
Sorry.
Went out for dinner somewhere and probably got himself sick and was puking his guts out. Oh, you'll be pleased to know, speaking of puking his guts out, I've told you this already, that your close friend Rimmer called me yesterday.
Yeah.
And I think I mentioned that he was AWOL during a Columbus game a few days ago. He started the game, which I hadn't tuned in at that point yet, and they had his color guy did the whole game, which was an abortion. And Rimmer tells me that he got food poisoning. And so that before the game he started puking his guts out, and they had to bring a second bucket to carry all the... yeah.
It's like Monty Python.
Yeah, and they were doing the game in the stands in Nashville. They had the broadcast table set up in the stands. Can you imagine?
Bring another bucket.
Oh, my God. Of course, being in Nashville is enough to make me puke just thinking about it. So Rimmer was puking his guts out, so I'm sure you'd be pleased to hear that.
Yeah.
The Supernatural was on last night, and even Josh Cordes said he was really impressed with Sam and Dean.
Riveted.
Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It was vibrating.
I'll tell you one thing, man. That's a great show. Last night was not a great episode, but it's a good show. That's a keeper, that show.
Yeah, for you it is.
Well, now, what was wrong with that blonde chick? She was all right.
Yeah, she's the only one.
Well, so how many do you need, for Christ's sake?
How many you got?
How many hot blonde chicks do you need? I guarantee you one thing, she's a hell of a lot better looking than that one that George is all whipped up about on Smallville, whatever her name is, Lana Puke, Mike Lang.
Kristen Crook?
Yeah, Kristen's Crook.
Oh, I'd have to
she
see
ain't
this
that
new
great.
Girl.
She's
fine.
okay.
I was never gaga over her.
Well,
She's
the blonde
fine.
that was on last night sure as hell. Now, even Josh would agree with that.
She's no Scarlett Johansson.
No, am I wrong?
She's not, but she was
She's
good
not
looking.
what?
She was okay.
Who?
The girl on the show last night.
Supernatural.
Right.
She wasn't as pretty as Sam, but then again, who is? Now, it's very interesting to me, very revealing that Josh, the one thing he took away from that show was, here's these two brothers in their 20s, and they're sleeping together in the same room.
Yeah,
now,
they're about 30, okay?
They're not about 30, okay? The older one there, Dean, he's about 26 or 7, I would say, and Sam is about 22 or 3, I would say.
Listen.
You better get your ages straightened out, man. You're going to be in deep doo-doo one day.
Regardless, I know why you're watching the show after that.
No, you're right. Didn't I tell you that up front? I said there's two hot guys on there. I don't come on here lying through my teeth. Why else would I watch that show?
The drama?
Some silly ass with a bunch of ghosts running around and macking on each other. That was
smacking on each other?
Yeah, macking on their goy. Anyway, so that's the deal. Chris Penn is dead. I guess I better do the break, then we'll talk about Chris Penn for about 10 seconds. He was 40 years old, and he's dead. And he was not gay. How do you like that? A straight guy that died.
But he was fat.
Mark that down. He was fat. Even a fat face.
This is 560 QAM.
Bill, he saved a young boy from being crushed by his adoring throngs and rescued boaters from their flaming yacht in the south of France. What's next for this actor-savior? Let's find out in our next installment of Tom Cruise, Superhero.
Excuse me, sir. You have over 20 items in your cart, and this is the 10 items or less checkout line.
Well, I don't care. I'm in a hurry.
The lady said to get in another line.
Tom Cruise! Oh, man, can I have your autograph for my daughter? She'll flip out.
Why don't we step over to checkout stand number 5, and I'll be happy to sign for you.
Okay, I guess.
Thank you, Tom Cruise.
Another ugly incident quashed by Tom Cruise, Superhero.
10:32 at QAM, and we do have a Tom Welling bit, but luckily I previewed it on Q during the break. You won't be hearing that on the air.
I didn't think so.
No. But at any rate, you're not eating already, are you, at 10:32 in the morning?
Couldn't wait for my BLT, so I'm having a granola bar.
Oh, gee, those are really bad for you.
It's good for your...
Now, you know these little buttons on our boards, the little yellow and red? Well, of course, they're not. The buttons are yellow and red, but the little bulbs, they don't last forever.
No, they don't.
And so I got a couple that are like flickering, and they're okay right now, but I'm thinking that they're probably going to be all going out pretty soon.
Yes, they will.
Now, how do you get these buttons off here? If I knew how to do that, I could just have them send me a bunch of bulbs, because I don't really feel I want to get the engineer to come up, you know.
No, they pull right out and pop back in.
They pull right out?
Yes, they do.
I don't think so. I think you're dreaming.
Just grab one and pull it right out.
No, it does not.
Trust me.
Trust me, it doesn't pull right out.
I'm going to pull one out right here.
Oh,
there it is, right here in my hand.
Get out of here.
I'm popping it back in.
Huh? Well, I don't have no fingernails or nothing.
No, I'm not using any fingernails, just grabbing it.
You're grabbing it?
Right.
Oh, don't say that. Let's see.
Remember which way is right side up, though.
Oh, really?
So you can, because it goes back in a certain way. The same way it came out.
Well, whatever. So maybe they'll send me a bunch of them little bulbs. You might just mention that to somebody. I don't know who you'd mention it to.
Well, let me know.
Yeah, if we ever have a program director back from all them silly basketball games, maybe I might mention that to him on his way out. Actor Chris Penn, brother of Sean Penn, was found dead yesterday at a condo near the beach in Santa Monica, California. Police said they discovered the 40-year-old actor's body around 4 p.m. They said there were no obvious signs of foul play, although this picture looks pretty foul to me. Sean Penn's publicist, Mara Buxbaum, issued that's almost like Birnbaum. That's one of those names you just have to love, you know, Buxbaum, Birnbaum. Issued a statement saying that the Penn family would appreciate the media's respect to their privacy during this difficult time. I don't know what that means. In other words, Nunya.
Go away.
Right. His body was found inside the 4-story condo complex after police were called by somebody from within the building. An autopsy will be conducted to determine the cause of death. His credits included Mulholland Falls, Rumblefish, All the Right Moves, Footloose, and Rush Hour. Now, Footloose, wasn't that Kevin Bacon?
Yes, it was.
He also played nice guy Eddie Cabot in the 1962 Quentin Tarantino crime drama Reservoir Dogs, which I haven't watched, and you keep telling me don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
Okay. His late father, Leo Penn, directed television shows. His mother, Eileen Ryan, is an actress whose credits include I Am Sam, Magnolia, and Parenthood. Another brother is musician Michael Penn. Very talented family, only -1 now. He's dead. His latest film, the Darwin Awards, were scheduled to premiere Wednesday, today, at the Sundance Film Festival.
Oh,
Maybe that's why he died. Yeah?
Maybe he knew
of embarrassment. So, Chris Penn is dead. I never heard of him. You tell me I did, but it's one of those people.
He's one of those people. You'd see him.
You'd see him and say, oh, yeah, I know him, and now he's dead.
See, he didn't always look that fat.
Oh. Here's yesterday's poll. Whose enthusiasm is most annoying? People are like, way over the top. We should also put the booster on there, you know? It's one thing to be enthusiastic during a ball game. It's another thing to be doing a rock and roll talk show. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Blah, 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 like that. You know, a little bit over the top for me, booster. But anyway, I prefer our revolving cast of hosts, whoever they are. We got Curtis today. I put in a good word for you, Curtis. Trust me when I tell you. I put in a good word. Didn't do any good, I doubt, but I'm trying. I mind my own business. I've learned in this business, mind your own business. They ask you any questions, say, I don't know nothing. Don't ask. I won't tell. Whose enthusiasm is most annoying? We had 1,211 votes. Pretty good for a crappy poll. Religious Nuts, 681. See, it's crappy because there was like really only one choice. Infomercial Host, 111. Dick Vitale, 83, baby. Richard Simmons, 83. Tony Little, 60. Sports Fans, 38. Recovering Alcoholics, 37. Especially the ones at Paxton who were always running around with a bottle of Diet Coke in their under each armpit. Tony Robbins has got...
About 30, man.
Too many teeth. Political Junkies, 29. Kojo, 22. Cujo didn't get any. Goth People, 14. Trekkies, 12. And PC Gamers, solamente 11, only 11. Undici. Isn't it amazing? I know these numbers in different languages. I can't speak any languages, but I know the numbers. Yeah, it's like a big deal. It's kind of stupid. Oh, he speaks 17 different languages. Yeah. Right. He can count to 5 in like 16 different languages. Well, good for you. Here's today's poll, and we're going to hop right on it. How many votes we got? 171. That's not too bad. I didn't put up there till like a little while ago. And why didn't I do that? Well, we had to leave that other one on there a while.
Right.
Who best fits this description? Someone who needs a personality transplant. Somebody who's duller than dog poop. John Kerry, 38. Like I said, the Democrats better come up with somebody else. John Kerry, 38. Al Gore, 34. Like I said, Anna Nicole Smith, 20. Martha Stewart, 20. But she's on Sirius Radio, Martha Stewart. That was a big coup for Mel Karmazin. Hey, nice going, Mel. You idiot. You notice you're not hearing anything about any of the other people on there at all?
Who?
Exactly. I'm serious. Tiger Woods, 17. Joe Zagacki, 17. He had a short lead there for a while, but John Kerry and Al Gore passed him like he was laid out on the 40-yard line.
Lockbox.
Bob Greasy, 8. Oh, man. He was on the Wheel of Fortune last night and never said a word. He never said a word. And the chick won $100,000. She did great. She won a trip to somewhere. Trip to Mexico,
Aruba?
which I think I would throw back in Pat's lap. I'd say, here, take these mushy beans and stick them up Vanna's skirt, okay? Get out of my face, Pat. But she won $100,000. Pete Sampras, 6. I told you about my meeting him during a Mark Jacobson taping, that awful show, the Kendall Toyota show.
Mm-hmm.
And there was Pete Sampras, and he was watching us tape our segment first. And he thought I was just crazier than a bedbug. No sense of humor, everything very uptight. Now, what is this man saying, And then, after our taping was done, they introduced me to him, and I reached out to shake his hand. And wouldn't you think that a tennis player would have
a firm grip?
No, well, not just a firm grip, but like I don't want to say delicate hands because that sounds awfully gay. But you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
Like substantial hands, like tender little
right.
girly.
But he had these small clammy hands, like a chimpanzee or something, like a claw.
Not like
I thought that's not what you expect a tennis player to have at all. You expect a tennis player to have great hands, Anyway, he's bizarre. Pete Sampras, 6. Ellen DeGenerate, 5. Jeff Gordon's got 4. Mel Gibson, 3. Kevin Costner, 3. And Bernie Williams doesn't have any. Now, how Bernie Williams could have none, I have no idea, because he is the most expressionless athlete I've ever seen in my life. You know what I'm saying, Josh?
Yeah, he's just there.
He is he's a great player. Don't take that away from him.
Yeah, he was.
But is he done now?
No, but he should be.
Oh, he was a great player. But he never changed the expression on his face. He always looks like he's just bored to be there, like, just give me the money and I don't want to be here. He's a very boring guy.
That's his groove, the Bernie Williams groove.
Is that what they call it?
I guess.
His groove? I thought that was his...
Rectum.
I thought that's what they were talking about.
Flow.
Flow. Well, that's what I hear. He spends a lot of time on the flow these days.
Slow flow.
Oh, and next you're going to be saying Mo Flow.
I wasn't.
Careful how you say that now. Mo Flow.
Did he offer you one, Goldie?
Don't forget Geldy tomorrow and Friday 2 to 4 in that revolving slot, in the Mo slot. There's a lot of strange people winding up in the Mo slot.
This is Neil Rogers.
My mother.
Samarino, who says crime don't pay. When you're on the payroll of the Cosa Nostra, a respectable man, or the black hand in their pocket like so much change. Samarino, you're an abortion of the Supreme Court. Since you choose to consort with the civil rights races, fascist prick with the crony gig, make them pay the bill or else they get their legs broken. Samarino, on your moral ground, it's push on the lips like a moralist baker.
Rectum.
What would Jesus do if he ever met you? He would slap your pasty face and send you back to New Jersey. Samarino.
Yeah, when Hopper said this morning that he was a big fan, he loved Phil Simms, he was just doing that to aggravate me, wasn't he?
Maybe. You never know.
No, because I think he already agreed with me about Phil Simms a long time ago. But
he probably knows him personally,
Yeah, it's probably one of those things, like Bob Greasy, that business. I like Bob. Well, I don't dislike Bob Greasy. He's just boring. I know he likes Joe Zagacki, too. But Joe is terminal. He needs a personality transplant. Of course, it's hard to transplant one when you don't have one in the first place. You know what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
Like Bush, and they talk about Bush's brain. Well, how can you talk about something that don't exist? Let's see. Oh, and poor Humper, he's getting it all over the place. It says, for the poll, how about Hank's good buddy, Beano Cook? Also for the most slot, how about the tag team of Kimba and Goldie? Oh, stop, please. What is wrong with these people? And you know where that fax came from? I guarantee it came from across the street.
You think?
Guaranteed. You want to put Beano Cook on there?
Yeah, I did.
All right, our final segment with world famous Beano Cook.
There's Beano. Anyway, now what's this zany Las Vegas variety show in town? Oh, zany.
No, you gotta. The part they marked is what they want you to say.
Oh, Tom Brady. We were just talking about him before the show, about naked pictures. More athletic action at Prime 112, where New England Patriots quarterback and Visa mouthpiece Tom Brady dined while his defensive line protected him from the girls trying to get to him, and the guys. In exchange, Brady took the beefy beefeaters out for dinner, using his Visa, of course. Well, he can afford it. Like I said, what red-blooded guy or gay, anybody, any male, even some women, what person wouldn't want to be Tom Brady, right?
Sure, why not?
Even you would like to be Tom Brady. You'd like to have that money. You'd like to look like that. You'd like to have all them hot babes just lined up at the motel door.
Then I'll make some people pay.
Like Rimmer, for example. He still won't pay, by the way.
If he was starving,
he'd rather puke his guts out again besides paying for dinner. Anyway, look at this. Male student wins fight to wear skirt to high school.
So what kind of skirt is it, though? See, this is the important part.
Well, we're going to get to it if you let me do the story. Now, let me just say this. Suppose he was Scottish. Okay, I let it. And suppose he wanted to wear kilts to school. Well, a kilt is like a skirt, and a kilt I don't think they wear nothing underneath it either.
They do, actually.
You think Sam wears a kilt on the Supernatural? That's right, you haven't seen the show yet. When you see the show, you'll know what I'm talking about. You'll say, oh, yeah, there's that faggot at it again. You know? That's what Josh was thinking. As soon as he saw that show, he was thinking, oh, yeah, I know why that old queen watches this show. Isn't that what you were thinking?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
And you know what? You were right. And you thought, well, at least he's got good taste anyway.
I don't know about that.
No, get out of here. It's too late for that now. You were drooling before the show. You said, boy, I sure wish I was one of those two guys.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, so you could sleep with your brother. At least they were sleeping in different beds. For the cameras, anyway. What's wrong with you? This wasn't like the Bareback Cowboy. You got this confused with that damn movie that the president claims he didn't see yet.
I thought it was going to go that way.
Yeah, I bet you did. You're probably hoping.
The phone call comes in, Daddy, and, I thought there was going to be a little hug there or something.
WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil. How are you?
Okay.
Good. Listen, I got a guy for your poll. I don't know if anybody's going to know who he is, but he's really in the names wrong. Ben Stein.
Oh, I agree. Sure, everybody knows who that is.
You're on.
Yeah, Win Ben Stein's money. You're right. He's a terminal, ponderous guy, and also a real right-wing jackass, too. Win Ben Stein's money. Another one of those Jew sellouts, right-wing, oh, brother. Keep your own money, Ben Stein. Although George will take some, and Josh says until he gets that raise. By the way, how's your raise coming, Josh Cordes? Bet you haven't heard a word about that, have you?
I bet you're right.
Well, I think that once we eliminate the program director position, I think that'll free up some cash for you guys that deserve to be making some money. Yeah, Clarence has decided he wants to be a little sports nerd. He wants to be Mike Rosenthal. I think that's what he ought to be doing. WQAM, hello.
You watch American Idol last night, Neil?
I beg your pardon?
You watch American Idol last night?
No, I don't watch American Idol. Last night or any other night. No, I did not.
All right. Have a good day, man.
Did you watch Supernatural last night?
What?
Yeah. I said, have a nice night. Yeah, speaking of Supernatural. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Well, he's getting there early. By the way, for those who don't recognize the voice, that's your buddy. Gilbert Solomon, by the way, who actually drives a car and pretends to be like, put on his own pants. 5670560, pound 560 in the variety. Well, Widow Joey didn't have to get screened to, and they put the Widow Joey. He got nothing to say, George. If you guys think I'm going to put up with this, you're crazy, because I'm not standing still for this. You're going to put me on the air, and
This is the amazing Gilbert reminding you not to drink and drive this holiday season.
Oh, yeah.
You thought that I was dumb and stupid?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, we didn't think. Look at those phones, boy. This week is the week from hell on this phone. You know what?
Right.
You'd almost think that this was a holiday week.
Right, and last week it was just fine, even starting on a Monday.
I just don't get it. 5670560, pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless line. Maybe now these people all got a hold of their roofers and their pool repair people and all the other, It's still a long... Take it from me, because I know it's a long ways from people getting their life back together again. Trust me when I tell you.
Yeah.
A male high school student, this is in Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey. See, now that I'm going to do the story now, a bunch of lines. I'll get to you when I feel like it. A male high school student can wear a skirt to school after the ACLU reached an agreement with school officials. You go, what's his name, Mike? You go, Mikey. Doing a heck of a job. The ACLU announced the deal yesterday. It will allow a Hasbrook Heights school senior to wear a skirt to protest the school's no-shorts policy. He's making a statement. The district's dress code bans shorts between... That's a dress code.
Okay.
In other words, don't wear a cold dress. Ban shorts between October 1 and April 15, but allows skirts, a policy 17-year-old Michael Coviello believes is discriminatory. And I think he is...
Absolutely correct, sir.
I'm happy to be able to wear skirts again to bring attention to the fact that the ban on shorts doesn't make any sense, Coviello said in his statement. The Hasbrook Heights superintendent, Joseph C. Luongo, oh, man, did he play a hell of a game last night for most of the game, till the ass end, didn't return telephone messages left Tuesday seeking comment. Coviello first wore a costume-style dress, but high school officials told him to go home and change. The district superintendent then advised the Coviello family to purchase everyday dress and skirts at a retail store, which Coviello did, the ACLU said. But after a few days, he was sent home with a note from his principal saying if he wore a dress, a kilt, or a skirt, he could no longer attend school. And the court said, guess what? How do you like that?
I don't.
The ACLU intervened. They said, your mama. Yeah, he couldn't wear a dress, a kilt, or a skirt.
What if it was part of his religion?
I just don't get it. They said if you come to school dressed like that, you will be killed.
You've got to stick your spoon in it, lad. Don't worry, it's not going to break.
Exactly. So we ought to probably take a poll on that. Now, we already got our other poll, but let's, what do you think about your son going to school wearing a dress or a skirt? Wouldn't that be lovely?
Depends if it clashes with his, shoes and his blouse, I would imagine.
Or his T-shirt.
Right.
WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil. I have a spy report.
Yeah.
Pompano harness track. What it's gonna be now? Just spots and stuff.
WQAM, hello. QAM.
Hey, Neil.
Yes,
it's
sir.
Charles Belay. How are you?
Charles Belay.
Yes, sir.
You're not related to Enrico Belay, are you?
I listen all the time. People say, hey, Neil's saying something. No, I'm not. How you doing? Hey, listen, Neil, I have a question
what do you mean
for you.
Neil's saying something? No, he's not. Who the hell are you?
What's that?
Who are you?
You know me, Neil.
Charles Belay?
Correct. You usually call me Chuck Billy.
What do you do, Charlie?
I work at Channel 7.
Oh, Charlie Belay from Channel 7. Now I know. Well, how the hell am I supposed to know? I don't watch Channel 7. I'm never there, so how would I be watching that that great channel?
Yeah, absolutely.
Charlie Belay, we got a local celebrity here. Oh, my God. So what's up, Charlie?
Hey, I have a question. You know, Neil, I listen here and there, and I know that they've kind of...
Don't give me this here and there. You listen to this. You got your radio glued on this show, man. Don't here and there my ass.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You caught me. Anyway, I know that you're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do that. The fart sounds, all of that. What happened, Neil, and what did they say to you? I'm just kind of curious.
Well, what do you mean? What did they say to me about what?
Yeah, about what you can and can't do. I mean, putting the collar on you. I just don't think it's right.
They said whatever you want to do, don't do it. Yeah, that's Joyce. That's that Joyce Fitch bitch over there in the West Coast. And because this company hasn't got a clue of what the FCC is all about or what the regulator, and which I understand that. So when in doubt, just leave it out.
Gotcha.
But now we got a boss that's going to bat for our fart sounds. How do you like that? Yeah. In fact, you know something? Based on my conversation with him yesterday, I think I might just start slipping a few fart sounds in here today because he has no problem with it. He has no objection. We came to the conclusion that Joyce Fitch has never farted in her life, and as a result, the sound might just be a little overwhelming for her.
Yeah, well...
Oh, I can just imagine the aroma. Put you in a coma.
Have a great day, Neil. I love you.
You too, Charlie. Welcome to the WQM dysfunctional family. Thanks a lot, Charlie. And say hi to all my old friends there at Channel 7.
Will do.
I don't have any, but say hi anyway.
Yeah, I'll tell everyone you said hi.
Tell John Turchin. Looks like is John Turchin still there, by the way? They blow his ass out.
No, John Turchin is now working with John Walsh on America's Most Wanted. And if you watch that show at all, you hear John doing his reports all the time.
And he ought to be one of them, by the way. John Turchin looks like an urchin. Okay, thanks a lot, Chuck, whatever your name is. See you.
See you, man.
Charles Belay from Channel 7. I'm kind of embarrassed because I didn't know who that was in the beginning. Should I be embarrassed?
I still don't know.
Get out of here. You're on Channel 7, man. You better start watching Channel 7.
The only thing I watch on Channel 7 is the,
well,
the
I
Simpsons
think
stuff,
that kind
the
of
Sunday night
belies
stuff.
the fact that you're full of it. You don't watch
Judge
the news
Judy.
anyway. You're busy watching naked broads.
Naked Judge Judy.
Yeah. Oh, brother.
Oh, sister.
Naked Judge Joyce. So this guy says, go ahead and play the fart sounds. What do you say? Now, who's in charge today?
Of what?
Robert Grieper?
Of
well,
what?
seriously, I'm sure that Clarence isn't back from Virginia yet, is he?
No, I haven't seen him.
Yeah, see what a joke that is?
I think Josh is over here.
Yeah, I'm in charge.
Josh Cordes is in charge. Now, can we play the fart sounds or what?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Are we?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. No, because I talked to our general manager yesterday. He thinks it's just asinine. He said Joyce is a silly-ass bitch.
And I think it's asinine as well, so rip one.
Then what does George think? No, I'm not going to rip one.
All right, tear one.
Well, I got to find one for. Oh wait, how about this? Now this is not a fart. See? Okay. It's just a sound. I mean, nobody ever farted and sounded like that, right?
No, I never have.
No.
Yourself. This is your brain. Any questions?
The heart-stopping action continues with a new season of 24 on Fox. Renegade CTU agent Jack Bauer is called back to action.
Agent Bauer, it's CTU. We need you.
Oh, crap. Now what?
A group of terrorists are planning to assassinate the president by launching a nuclear warhead into Washington, D.C. while releasing a toxic nerve gas that melts people's faces.
That's it?
Yeah.
Isn't there anyone else you guys can call to save the world? I mean, haven't I been through enough? My wife's been murdered, my daughter's been caught in a bear trap, my girlfriend dumped me, and my entire body's been beaten within an inch of its life.
There's more bad news.
Now what?
Your third cousin's best friend's college roommate was kidnapped by the terrorists.
No! 24 is back on Fox. Will there be evil double agents involved?
Yes.
How about satellite tracking devices?
Yes.
Flagrant protocol violations?
Yes.
How about mortally wounded thugs who whisper cryptic information before losing consciousness?
Of course.
Well, can you at least get rid of that annoying ticking clock?
No.
It's 24 with the annoying clock.
It's 11:03 on our annoying clock. Okay, we hear. Don't keep saying Fox. We get very upset when you say that. Fox. And back at you. Anyway, we got Curtis Stevenson at 2 this afternoon. Mad Dog from the Bank Atlantic Center at 4 o'clock. Probably hockey intensive. I hope not. Panther preview at 6:30. Panthers and the Hurricanes at 7 o'clock tonight. The Red Hot Carolina Hurricanes with your good buddy Ray Whitney and Eddie Kaplan after the hockey game. U.S. Senator Bill Nelson said yesterday he plans to vote against. And by the way, I was remiss yesterday. I did give you the information, which was a foregone conclusion, that the Senate Judiciary Committee, that they voted 10-8 to ascend the Alito confirmation of the full Senate. And, of course, it was 10 Republicans for and all 8 Democrats against. That's the part I didn't mention, because you asked before the show. Right. Now it's going to go to the full Senate, and, of course, he'll get confirmed, but it's going to be a little bit closer than the Republicans would like, which is why they're glad it's getting laid off till probably next week. U.S. Senator Bill Nelson said yesterday he plans to vote against Sam Alito's confirmation of the Supreme Court. You go, Billy. All right. Nelson announced his decision in a statement from his Washington orifice shortly after the Senate Judiciary Committee favorably recommended Alito's yada, yada, yada on a party line vote. His many legal writings, judicial opinions, and evasive answers at both his hearing and in our private meeting convinced me he would tilt the scales of justice in favor of big government, said whatever his name is, Bill Nelson. He's another one that could use a personality transplant. Put him on there. Senator Bill Nelson.
We'll put him on.
Is he boring? Well, I mean, I'm glad that he's voting against this fascist, but the full Senate is expected to vote later this week or early next week. Alito picked up the support last week of Florida's other U.S. Senator, fascista Republican Mel Martinez. Fascista rhymes with Batista. Mel Martinez, you quisling, you fairy. God, do I hate him. Nelson, a Democrat seeking re-election in November, is likely to find himself forced to defend his decision in this year's campaign. Oh, yeah. Well, who wrote this garbage? Oh, Channel 7 News. See, this Enrico Belay that called before. Chuck Belay. I can't believe you don't know who that is. I didn't know either. I don't know. His office was quick to show Nelson that the lawmaker had voted for 215 of President Bush's 225 judicial picks, including Chief Justice John Roberts, who'll be doing the weekend news on CBS with that very gray hair. Alito, who was chosen by Bush to succeed retiring Justice Sandra Gay O'Connor, spent nearly an hour with Nelson last week in the senator's orifice, and evidently it didn't work out.
He didn't bring enough money, I guess.
As opposed to a Jim Bunning, which Alito said, "Oh, I'm a big Phillies fan, and would you autograph this picture?" It reminded me of that scene in The Exorcist where what's his name? Lee J. Cobb says to the mother,
right?
He says, I hate to do this, but could I have an autograph for my little girl? She's a big fan of all your movies. And she says, what's your name? Yeah, I lied. It's for me. He was so great, Lee J. Cobb.
Is he dead?
What was her name again that played the actress?
Oh, man.
We always do that. We confuse her with the one from Cuckoo's Nest that played Nurse Ratched.
No, I just confused her with a blank.
What? Isn't it the same one, Ellen Burstyn?
No, Ellen Burstyn is the correct answer. Louise Fletcher is...
No, but Ellen Burstyn is in Requiem for a Dream, so how can we not know that, even though she's about 100 years older then?
Because, exactly.
Huh? And these names are just bursting out of my brain. Ellen's Burstyn. That's who plays Reagan's mother.
Correct.
And who played Captain Howdy? 56705... Huh?
Me.
Howdy, Captain. Boy, I don't know what kind of... I tell you, that's why the world is the way it is today, because most of these people, they didn't grow up watching Howdy Doody. WQAM, hello.
Hello, is this
yes, sir.
Neil?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I just have to say I am breathless with excitement because I heard the poopies.
You heard Charles Belay on the air? Is that what did it for you? Now,
yes.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, from Channel.
Well, listen, I'm just taking it on my own, dropping a couple of those in there, because, I had a conversation with our new general manager yesterday, and he thinks that Joyce is just way out of line, and he's right. And, and so if I get in hot water because of it, he'll have to jump in the tub, too. I mean, it's just ridiculous. We have taken too much from a bitch that hasn't got any idea. We got a program director wouldn't know a radio show that isn't about sports from his toenails, and we need to get with it, man. We need to butch up on this station.
Can I just say how courageous that was, though? And now I'm gonna dare you to throw one down in the clear. Come on.
Throw one down?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm leaning on one cheek now. I'll see what I can do about it.
Okay. On the DL.
There you go. 56705. Throw one down in the clear. Well, what is that?
A pneumatic press there?
Yeah, now he's like, now we got fart requests on the show.
He's the conductor.
That makes it gratuitous. You're just trying to stir up the pot, that's all. He's probably calling from across the street.
And by the way, I didn't hear no fart sounds.
When?
Exactly.
We aren't playing any fart sounds. These are just sound effects, that's all. Like that. That's no fart. I'm 63 years old. I never in my life farted once that sounded like anything like that. And believe me, I fart a lot. Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. Including sometime in the elevator. And I'm just pray that when I get to the bottom that nobody I know is down there going to get in.
If you drop a bowl of oatmeal upside down, it sounds like that.
Like that? Yeah, that's oatmeal. Drop it on the floor. Can't you tell?
I can smell
WQAM, Fart Central, hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing there?
Pretty good, Pally.
All right, I heard the thing with Charles Belay. It was nice to hear
from him. Who is that? Who is he?
Channel 7 anchor guy.
Now, does he anchor it?
I
got news for you. Most of the people over there at Channel 7 need an anchor around their ankles, I'll tell you that.
Belky's, I don't know whether the
he must have Spilky's and Array, yeah.
Unbelievable. I can't believe they put it on the air. But anyway, here's what I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Believable, yeah.
Acceptable.
You mentioned Sally Fitz every now and then, and her name pops up, and a friend of mine was just that's just it. He was telling me that there's some story behind the whole thing, and I never heard of it. Can you enlighten me on this?
I'll tell you what. I'll give you the short answer.
As Sally Fitz would say, stick it up your ass.
There's the answer to your question. Okay. Moving right along.
By the way, he does weekends.
Enrico Belay.
Yeah, 5, 6, and 10 p.m. on the weekends.
All right. No, I'm embarrassed because he called, assuming that I knew who he was. And, of course, I'm not there most of the time. And even when I am there, I almost never watch Channel 7 News, which he may be a very good news guy. I get the heebie-jeebies when I turn on Channel 7. I go, oh, I feel unclean, you know.
I can't tell you how many years.
The ghost of Ricky Sanchez hovers over my body.
Right.
And John Turchin, I remember last time I saw John Turchin, he was scalping tickets for a Panther game in the old Miami Arena. You know, John Turchin worked at WS News, and I'm the one that put him on the air doing news with Corey Zawato.
Who?
Corey Zawato. They were like funky news people on WS News 100 years ago. He was not a bad guy. John Turchin had kind of a puffed-up ego, but nevertheless. You know who else I wonder whatever happened to? Who was the news guy? Alice. Do you know I had a dream last night? In the dream, Alice Rantel was in it, and Russ Oasis. Is that bizarre or what?
Hell of a dream.
Well, I always had that, and it wasn't a nightmare. It was just another one of these radio dreams. I'm sure that the events of the last 48 hours have precipitated that, with the company screwing with my paycheck again, all this stuff. I'll tell you one thing. Thank God for Joe Bell. He will bring us out of the depths of despair at this place. He is the Jesus Christ of QAM. When we think of the kind of lack of support and the lack of anything, even involvement we had from the prior regime. You know, a guy that doesn't return anybody's phone calls, a guy that just ignores all of us, unless when he gives you like a dirty look in the hallway. And then like farts. He's another guy that probably farts in a hallway if he hears you coming down the hall and then runs real fast. So you think so, oh, that was Mo did that. You know, that was somebody else.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Just drop a real choice one in the hallway and then run around the corner real quick if you heard some footsteps, especially if you think it was somebody you didn't like. Then it turned out it was Tommy that was coming down the hall, and Tommy, of course, snitched. Because Tommy, what? Well, Tommy's one of the good people. He's on our side. That's so right. He told us that Greg farted real bad in the hallway, and then I think that was the last blow for the Beasleys, when they found out that Greg was dropping wind, passing gas in the hallway. That was the end of his act. 12 minutes after 11. What a silly bunch of people, man. What a silly, that Joyce. We'd like to tie her up and hang her upside down from a gigantic flagpole for about a month.
Yeah, and whip her.
Maybe some of that blood will rush to where her brain is supposed to be. She'd wise up.
Oh, you can't say this, and you can't do that, and you sure can't say this.
Yeah. Let me say this. She went to a radio if you stuck 15 transistor radios where Sally Fitz might. Mercedes McCambridge was the voice of Captain Howdy. That is correct. Now, what does it say?
Minnie Mouse. I don't know.
I can't read the bottom.
Me either. It's cut off on mine, too.
No. It's cut off on the fax, so whoever...
Minnie Pearl.
No, we already got that straightened out a long time ago. I always used to say it was somebody else, but Mercedes McCambridge did the voice of Captain Howdy.
I think it does say Minnie Pearl down there, though.
In addition to which, no, that wasn't the voice of Captain Howdy. Captain Howdy didn't have a voice. Because don't you remember when Reagan was lying in bed and the shrink was saying, is there somebody in there with you? And is it yes? And is it Captain Howdy? No, that wasn't Captain Howdy. That was evil. Captain Howdy was an imaginary thing that she made up. Don't you get
Maybe
it? So guess what?
The guttural voice.
Mercedes McCambridge was the voice of the evil demon in Reagan.
Right.
And in Linda Blair, too. I'm talking about Ronald Reagan.
That's Captain Howdy.
What?
The evil demon, that's what Reagan called it. Before,
it is?
Yeah. Remember, she told her mother that she had a friend.
Her wee-wee board?
Right. The Captain Howdy turned out to be the demon.
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah. She told her
mother. Get out of
here.
Next thing you're going to tell me it was Charles Belay.
Who?
11:14 at 560. The Beast has lost 8 pounds. On Balance for Life. And a lot of you here, it's the 25th of January, and you're like wobbling about that New Year's resolution to get rid of that ugly, disgusting, very unhealthy fat.
Channel stars as a retard in Riding on the Bus with My Sister to the Subway where I beg for change.
All right, all you commuters. I'm a retard over here. Throw what you can in the box.
You ain't no retard.
Why, sure I am, pal. I'm like Gigat. Now get a load of this, see. I hate this place. Nothing works here. I've been standing here for 7 years. The medications don't work. When I grow up, I want to look just like Jackie Gleason. Then people will forget who I am. Some black guy will steal my act.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Hey, look, pal. I'm retarded, see?
You're a good one.
In Riding on the Bus with My Sister to the Subway where I beg for change.
Hey, Bob, look. I'm Terry Schiavo. Just inside the feeding tube. Hamina. Oh, yeah.
Tube. See, now that was just a feeding tube.
Correct.
Because now people are going to start getting paranoid. Every time they hear any kind of a sound, like they're going to, there's another one of them fart sounds, yeah?
No. Nobody's farting here.
That's for damn sure. Kind of like, like that.
Right.
That isn't even close.
That's Brill cream, being squeezed out of the
tube. Will do you. 5670560. Boy, I tell you, I feel like we've been emancipated today.
Wow. By that
Don't
BLT,
you?
yeah. Sure did.
Well, you eat enough of them BLTs, and you're going to be farting all over the place, too.
Thanks, Howie.
It's about time, and then again, you know, when you got people that are going to go to bat for you and like stand behind you, as opposed to like, oh, you know, like some of the cowardly middle-level management people we've had. Oh, well, gee, you better not do that. I remember that one day a couple of years ago. I'm sitting in that studio where your ass is right now, and it's 2:00, and after the show, here comes the double duel, the daring duo, the daring duo with the one with a cape on. I don't want to say which one.
You fairy.
And Duff and Clarence, and they come in, oh, well, you know, they're very sensitive, and Joyce, bada-beep, bada-boop, bada-bop, and this, and, you know, and they're rattling off a bunch of words to me, like hello and goodbye, like no matter what you say, well, you can't do this, and you can't. Now, why even bother opening the mic and doing a show, for Christ's sakes, you know?
Just think how safe we'll be if we don't say anything.
Yeah. In fact, that's one thing that our general mangler said to me yesterday. He said, you know, it sounds to me like you can't do much of anything. I said, that's why it's a miracle we still got numbers on this show, because we're not allowed to do anything. We got a nervous Nelly over there, and then we got two nervous Nellies been in middle-level management for the last few years now. Oh, gee, whatever you say, Joyce. Well, screw you, Joyce. How do you like that, honey? And put a little peanut butter and jelly on it, too. God. Leave the broadcasting to us, okay? We're not the ones who put Scott Farrell on the air. We're not the ones that put the Stern show on with a guy sitting in there with 85 dump buttons, having a nervous breakdown and dumping every other word. Like the day that Howard did a whole show on farts, and we had music playing for like 2.5 hours. Remember that day?
Do I remember it?
Yeah.
I taped it.
How do you like that? We had music playing. Well, I can't understand why that thing didn't work out for us. Yeah. Oh, brother. WQAM, hello.
Uncle Neil, what's the deal? I hear you ranting and raving.
Yeah, I'm ranting.
Listen, I was with one of your best friends last night, and he loves you. Kimbo.
Chuck Belay.
No, Kimbo Camper.
Kimba, how's Kimba doing?
Kimba's doing great. He wants to know how come when he's on before you or he's on after you, you don't do any verbal intercourse with him.
I do only verbal intercourse with a humper. That's it. That's enough for me.
All right, he does love you, though. I was with him.
I love him, too. He's a great guy, and he's got that big cow there in front of University Dodge. What's not to like?
He was telling me the story about the first time he met you at IOD. He said hello to you in the hallway. He was picking up a check, and 20 minutes later, he's driving to go wherever, and you were on the air. You started ripping him right off the bat. He goes, Neil likes me. I love it.
Yeah, that's right. If I rip you, that means I like you a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's for sure.
Cox ahoy. Bye-bye.
And back at you. Okay. 5670560. I love Kimba. I mean, he's a dullard on the air, but you know, he doesn't mind that. He knows it. He's not one of those people for the poll today. He doesn't need a personality transplant because he's got a personality, just a dull one. You know what I mean? Well, there's a difference.
Hey, you're all the way up there where you're safe.
Well, what does that mean? I'm not worried about him. He loves me, just like this guy just said. Because he's got a sense of humor. If he didn't have a sense of humor, do you think I would say those things in the first place? He'd probably be on the first plane coming up. See what I'm saying? I'm not nervous. Okay, what do we got on the poll here so far? Now, let me ask you, is Clarence actually in there or not?
Not.
He did not show up. See, this is what I'm saying, and it's not personal, it's strictly business. But there are just too many issues that need to be dealt with there. It's supposed to be a business, and if you're going to go do monkey business and take 2-3 days off to go do a little ball game, then we got nobody running the ship. And the general manager, I'm sure, has inherited. Well, I'm not just sure. I'm positive that he's inherited so many different problems, man. He doesn't have time to be potchking around worrying about who's made the schedules out and who got the paycheck and who's on first. You know what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
I'm saying get with it, Clarence. When he comes back, I want the both of you to grab him in the hallway and just beat the living crap out of him. Beat some sense into him.
Oh, all right, you do the grabbing, Josh.
Get his priorities. He'll grab it. Who best fits this? Someone who needs a personality transplant. John Kerry, 61. Al Gore, 58. Martha Stewart, 35. God. Anybody want any cookies? And it kind of reminds me of Sandy Payton. Now, we're not going to put her on because she hasn't been on the air in about 100 years. But the same monotone, 60-cycle tone, that same boring. There's nothing worse than boring, okay?
Have a nice day.
That's why I'm sitting here, like the guy said, ranting and raving. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but I'm ranting and raving. And there you go, beat me to it.
I would love to keep you all to myself.
Oh, God. She's talking to Ann Bishop there, by the way, and Ann was already laid out on the slab when she said it.
I think she did keep her all to herself.
Yeah, all the money, anyway.
Anybody ever check the casket?
Anna Nicole Tisket Tasket. Anna Nicole Smith, 31. Tiger Woods has got...
About 30, man.
Boy, is he boring. And, of course, he plays a boring game. Not a sport, a game. Joe Zagacki, 29. Bob Greasy, 17. Oh, Bobby. Is he ever terminal? Mel Gibson, 15. Kevin Costner, 9. See, the thing with Hank, you notice this? Everybody I say, which anybody in a sports fraternity is obviously a friend of his because he knows everybody and he likes 90% of them. And so he'll always respond by saying, oh, I like so-and-so. You know, I like Bob Greasy. I like, you know, and that's fine because I'm not saying I don't like them. I'm saying that can't you say that you got a friend who's boring?
No.
Oh. Well, Bob Greasy's boring, 17. Mel Gibson, 15. Kevin Costner, 9. Pete Sampras, with those clammy hands, he's got 9. Jeff Gordon, 7. Ellen DeGenerate, 8.
Gay.
6. What do they have in common? Beano Cook, 4. Bernie Williams finally got a pair. And Senator Bill Nelson's got none. That's because nobody knows who he is. You know, the fact that we used to have Bobby Graham and now we got Mel Martinez, what does that tell you about America's march drive to the far right, huh? What does that tell you about the green-toothed, no-speaking English crowd?
Oh!
Well, what does it say? That's what I would say. Embarrassing. Mel Martinez, my ass. Just another fascist in drag. Fascista, fascista, we love Batista, and that's it. That's what it's all about. Your people, man. That whole thing with the fascists, right. They embrace it. They love it. And you want to know why? Because it's diametrically opposed. It's the opposite pole from communism. See, comunista, etc., and so on. So if communism is bad, then fascism must be great.
It's spectacular.
Yeah, there you go. 26 past 11. Boy, I'm just full of it today. I'm full of energy and
take a drink.
Of what?
Water. Oh, we can't say water.
Oh, sorry, Joyce. Sorry, Joyce is going to get suspended for that.
I am that hemorrhoid.
Can't say that either. It has to do with
rectum.
That. Hey, if you're in a dead-end job, speaking of Joyce, boy, I tell you, they need to unload that bitch. If you're in a dead-end job, if you're underpaid, if your New Year's resolution is a high-paying career, then act now. Pick up the phone and call Fast Train right now at 866-FAST-TRAIN. They'll get you trained and ready for a new high-paying career in just a few short months. That's right, get a new high-paying career in just a few short months. The demand for medical coding specialists and computer professionals is at an all-time high. Fast Train offers convenient day, evening, and weekend classes, job placement assistance, financial aid for people who qualify, too. Pick up the phone and call Fast Train toll-free at 1-866-FAST-TRAIN. They placed over 100 people just like you in 2005. Check Fast Train out on the web at fasttrain.com, but whatever you do, act now, do it now to get you a new high-paying career because classes are filling up fast. This year, don't miss that train of opportunity. Make your New Year's resolution a reality. Get out of your dead-end job. Get you a big, fat paycheck and a real life that goes along with it.
I have no life.
Call them toll-free, 1-866-FAST-TRAIN, and be sure and tell them that Todd Dreck told you to call. 1-866-FAST-TRAIN.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
You got a dental floss?
No.
When I shop and get into the cashier line, I'm stuck behind an old bag almost every time. Wearing white slacks to sheer for the stains to hide. And farting in line. Farting in line. Farting in line. Farting in line. Look around, see everybody's head hanging down to avoid the mushroom cloud. Thanks to Mrs. 85. Who's farting in line? Farting in line. Farting in line. Farting in line. Writing out a check as she's farting away, but they won't accept checks from the Bank of Bombay. So she scours her change first for pennies, her coupons and dimes, while farting in line. Farting in line. Farting in line. Farting in line. All the time, I want to say that it ain't mine. The old back looking so sublime with a little smile. Farting in line. Farting in line. Farting in line. Farting in line.
Next thing you know, we'll be picking our nose on the air. I can't stand it. 28 till noon at QAM. Over the weekend, Time Magazine and the Washingtonian both reported on 5 photos of President Bush and Jack Abramoff, but neither publication revealed its source. Yesterday, Think Progress laid out the case for why the source of the photos was likely Abramoff himself, Last night, our hunch was confirmed, says rawstory.com. You following me or what?
I am.
Appearing on MSNBC, Newsweek correspondent Michael Isikoff reported that it was indeed Abramoff who floated the photographs to the Washingtonian. Isikoff said,
wow, how do you spell that?
MFSOP. Now, what was that song?
What song?
By it was a bunch of initials followed by the name of the group was like MFSOP. Remember that?
No.
Well, get with it.
What year, more or less?
1802. Isikoff said, as a general rule, if you're the president, you don't like pictures out there of you with convicted felons. It sounds like there's at least one picture of him with at least one convicted felon and another indicted, so it's probably not a picture the White House is eager to have out there.
MFSB?
That's it, MFSB. Now, what do you think the MF stands for? Mighty Fine Music?
Right.
Mighty Fine Sound, bro.
The Soul Train theme.
That is correct. Told you. The other interesting, you can keep that going.
All right.
The other interesting aspect of this is while the White House hasn't put these out, Jack Abramoff has clearly shown them to people. I don't know anything about time sources, but I do know Isikoff said that he showed them to Washingtonian magazine, which suggests he may be playing a little bit of a game here. He has, of course, pled guilty already to the Justice Department, but it does raise a question in my mind, at least as to whether Abramoff is maybe sort of sending some sort of signal out here. Hey, I've got this stuff. Maybe he wants something from somebody at the White House, or he just wants someone at the White House not to do something, and just sort of subtly playing with people here. The games that people will play. How do you like that? The Soul Train theme by MFSB. I told you. Mighty Fine Sound, bro. That's what that stands for. Mighty Fine Sound, bro. Okay, kill it. 5670560, pound 560. Now, that farting in line thing ties right in with what we were talking about, wasn't it, before, about people standing like at the supermarket or in elevators?
Right.
Like Greg passing some gas in the hallway. 5670560. I'll tell you one thing. We need to have like a whole team of exterminators in that building to get rid of all the stench that he's left behind in there. Well, he's probably still hanging around.
I would say a witch doctor and a Santeria priest might.
There you go. Nail a couple of chickens on his old orifice door. WQAM, hello.
Hey, how you doing, Neil?
Okay, Pally.
Transfer Neil. I'm sorry, Shaquille O'Neal. That guy can put me to sleep as soon as he opens his mouth.
Shaq?
Shaq.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Is he that boring, Shaq? I guess.
Not really.
So anyway, do you want to know what that stands for?
MFSB? Mighty Fine.
No. Mother.
Mo.
Father.
Son, brother.
Sister, brother.
Mother, father, sister, brother. MFSB.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't believe it.
All right.
Anytime they start tossing that MF stuff at me, man, they're not fooling me. Maybe Marvin Rawman thinks I don't get it, but I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Often, from what I hear.
Yeah. In fact, what did we hire Mo for in the first place?
For the money.
Yeah, that Marvin, he's such an idiot. You know, he's your friend, though. I mean, probably sit around smoking
buddy.
big fat ones together.
That's right.
He's an idiot. He's an idiot. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of us have friends who are idiots. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, you got Rimmer. Let's compare.
I said friends. 346 votes. Who best fits this? He's only my friend when I'm buying dinner, okay? I told you that story, and it's a true story. He tells me yesterday, when are you going to be back in Florida? And I gave him, like, some dates. But guess what? I lied, okay? Just like Lee J. Cobb said in The Exorcist, I lied. Whenever you're going to be there, Rimmer, I won't. And he says, well, let's go to Ruth Chris. I said, no, thanks. Yeah. Exactly. Ever see those two together? Same person.
Oh, man.
Only the hairpiece has been replaced to protect the guilty. Someone who needs a personality transplant. John Kerry, 65, and Al Gore, 63. Boy, no wonder the Democrats are off tours, baby. They got real issues. Man. Martha Stewart, 40. Joe Zagacki, 37. Good guy. Now, there's another example. Good guy, just, so boring you could want to sit on a curb and cry like Fredo in The Godfather. Again. Tiger Woods, 34. Anna Nicole Smith, 32. Bob Greasy, 18. He should be much higher, but I guess most of you folks never, really paid that much attention to him, and it's easy to understand why, because he doesn't say anything. I'll just like I told the Humper, I'd rather listen to Bob Greasy doing a game than Phil Simms any day, and I think Josh would agree. No?
Yeah.
Well, it's marginal. I'm not saying Greasy's good, but at least he doesn't, not a motor mouth. He doesn't put on some phony, fine, and the time, and the line, right about the 40-yard line. Oh, God.
Phil Simms' accent isn't what gets me. It's what he's saying.
Yeah, plus he never stops talking. He's always wrong, and plus he never shuts up. Kind of like Denise Potvin. That was good when Denise was trying to, get straight. Maybe he's trying to get Strader fired. Because, well, you know, we can accentuate the positive, but that was Nathan Horton's got to put that shot on the net. And right after Strader said, well, you know, shut up already. You're going to get me fired, Denise, you idiot, you frog. Yeah, that's the truth. The Panther organization has been all over Dave Strader like stink on Rimmer, man. You got to accentuate the positive. Even if we lose 100 in a row, you got to it must be really tough to work for people like that. I mean, look at what we got. Well, at least we got a new general manager now. Anyway, good guy. He's probably going to get me fired now. But at any rate, ask me if I care.
Do you care?
I'll just go to XM for all those rednecks. I'll do a country music talk show, man.
There you go.
I can go with the flow. Mel Gibson 15, Kevin Costner 10, Pete Sampras 10 with the clammy hands. Jeff Gordon 7, Bino Cook's got 6. Well, all of Hank's buddies are on here. They're all boring. Ellen DeGeneres 6, Bernie Williams 3, Senator Bill Nelson 2, and Ben Stein has got 1. You want Ben Stein's money?
No.
I'll take anybody's money if they're giving it out. But I wouldn't take his. I wouldn't touch his money with a fishnet.
I would with my clear eyes.
Yeah, well, you take anybody's money. I can understand that. And, of course, Josh, he keeps waiting there. See, they're playing the same game with him they've always done. How many times have we seen this happen?
About 30, man.
People are supposed to get a raise, and, they stall, because every month that goes by, that's another month they don't have to pay them an extra 80 cents or whatever it's going to be. You know what I mean? It amounts to, nothing, like a tinkle in the snow. Which, by the way, do we have any snow here?
No.
No. Sun is shining. I know I'm going to push my luck, and probably February or March we're going to have, hellish winter, but there hasn't been any winter. It's just very bizarre, folks. Very strange. Let's see. Gloria Steyneel, the fart sounds are back in my life. Where can I send this guy a Christmas card? I feel whole again, and it says F.U. Bush. Well, maybe it's signed F.U. Bush. Maybe those are his initials. Look at that. You know what the temperature is already?
About 30, man.
Oh, it's not going to be too warm today. They said the high was going to be 26. It's already 30, so they lied. Friday, sunny and 43, and Saturday, partly sunny and 40 here. And it's the ass end of January. Have you ever heard of such a thing in your life?
No, not lately.
Now, probably the weather's going to turn real bad when Hank goes to Detroit. You don't want to be in Detroit in the wintertime. Oh, man.
I don't want to be in Detroit in the summertime.
I would say this, having lived a good part of my life, about half of my life up north. And that is that in Michigan is the worst. Now, I've never been in Minnesota or I can only imagine up in Canada. I mean, way up there, like a Callawet and Moose Jaw and whatever. But, and Buffalo is horrendous and Rochester too. But Michigan, the winters are so bitter and there's a wind that blows through you, man. Like every cell in your body is getting ripped to shreds. You know what I mean? Like you can feel that cold, no matter how much clothing, how many layers you're wearing, man. It just goes right through your ass.
Been there, done that.
Oh, God. Michigan. East Lansing was really bad. And Detroit, forget about it. Wow. See, because I think Detroit is on the ass end of Buffalo. In other words, all the big nasty stuff, it starts there in central and eastern Michigan. It gains all the energy in Detroit. It rumbles across the Ambassador Bridge, and then it goes across the Queen Elizabeth Way. And then when it gets to the eastern Ontario, it dips south at Toronto, just as being nice to me, and it goes right through that golden horseshoe ass. Hamilton, Niagara, and then Buffalo. Oh, man, and Depew, and Batavia, and Leroy, and Rochester, and Elmira, and Schenectady, and Syracuse. Oh, God. And Albany. Holy moly. And Watertown. Have you ever been in Watertown?
No, sorry.
My God. Used to be watching the weather there in Rochester. Well, they got a 40-foot drift of snow in Watertown. Well, you know how high 40 feet is?
About yay high.
That's higher than Fat Boy's ass. 40 feet of snow. So like I said, stay out of those places. Stay out of Detroit, baby. You're smart.
Rogers.
Don't go to Detroit.
This is 5.
What's up with your Gotham
And here's to you, Mr. Garfunkel. Troopers found some pot in your limo. Whoa, whoa, whoa. God bless you, please, Mr. Garfunkel. There's a hefty fine that you will pay. $100. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Now you have a criminal record in our police files. If we have you, can learn to help yourself. Look around you, all you see are dilated eyes. If you're getting stoned, do it in your own home. And here's to you, Mr. Garfunkel, smoking ganja even though you're old. Whoa, whoa, whoa. God bless you, please, Mr. Garfunkel. Paul Simon hopes you're not locked away. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
14 till noon at 560 WQM. It's 1146, boys and girls. You know, I just looked at the, that thing we signed a couple of years ago, the Beasley programming, this and that. We all had to sign that for Joyce's benefit, and she could wipe her ass with it. And, of course, the Beasley programming, whatever that thing is, guideline, it doesn't refer in any way, shape, or form to fart sounds. You got it?
I got it.
So that was always something that just our underlings there, just because they're weak sisters. Oh, okay, Joyce, whatever you say. Well, now we got a new regime in there, okay? And anybody's going to be like a weak sister, I think, is going to get, shoved out the door. I could be wrong about that. Maybe I'm misreading the signals, but I don't think so. Because right at the end of the call yesterday with Joe, he, put the phone, I don't want to say where he put it, but I could hear he, farted right into the phone, which I thought was like a message for me. You know, maybe I misread it.
It was a smoke signal.
Oh, no. Man. Oh, yeah, here's a good one for the poll. Thank you, Steve-O. Jimmy Syphilis, that's a good one. Another one of Hank's buddies. It's his oh, no, the Humper's not, he's got a personality, okay? Some people don't like it, but then again, same with me. No, seriously, that's true. Jimmy Syphilis. Hey, Jimmy.
You fairy.
Come on. Get serious, man. And see, when somebody, you know what it's like? It's like with Zagacki, and again, he's a good guy, but he's got no personality. So, when he tries to get excited, on those games.
Oh, my! Oh, my!
It's just so over the top.
Oh, my! Oh, my!
It just it sounds ridiculous.
Oh, my! Oh, my!
You know what I mean? It's just embarrassing. But at any rate. Jimmy Syphilis. Okay, now let me start building tomorrow's poll. Because I got inspired. Can I tell you what inspired me? I'll give you a hint.
Okay.
Kevin Federline, up to no good, question mark. They're ripping him an ass. Now, here's a picture of him, and I'll be honest with you. with a bath and a shave and get rid of them tattoos.
A real good scrubbing like that. With
right.
The fire hose
he would look
the,
almost human. You know,
wire
certainly not good
brush
enough for a hot babe like her, but he would look almost human. I thought he's pretty gross.
Scum.
Right. Well, there's no question about that. The rap debut of Kevin Federline, known as K-Fed to Sun. Now, that's the first time I heard of that. I heard of K-Tel.
Yeah,
if it's K-Tel, it smells. Known as K-Fed to some, but to most as Mr. Britney Spears, features only a snippet of his lyrical prowess. Given a response to it, even less might have been better. Popo Zao, Brazilian-inspired groove, which features Federline rapping about large posteriors in between a few yelps and gruff-voiced chorus,
rectum,
made its debut on the Internet earlier this month. Though the track is 3 minutes long and Federline's rap lasts for less than a minute, it has already become a popular music track circulating on the web. Oh, yeah, I'm humming it all day long. Aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
Popo Zao, Papa Uma Mao, rhymes with Papa Uma Mao. But popular and likable are two distinct notions when it comes to Popo Zao. Entertainment Weekly said it was worse than expected, while the music trade magazine Billboard called it a monument to mediocrity. It's incredibly horrible, laughs DJ Star, the raucous Star and Buck Wild show, which broadcasts from New York's Power 105.1, syndicated nationally, like everybody except me. The good news is there's a lot of exposure for him. The bad news is 75% are rating it as an F, says Jack Isquith, executive director at AOL Music, which devoted a whole page mockingly titled The Emancipation of K-Fed to the song and allowed visitors to rate Popo Zao. He said 500,000 visitors have been on the site and about 85,000 have played the song. So far, there's a lot of interest, but not a lot of people yet are feeling this is a great song or his career is going to go. Well, it's going to go somewhere, all right, in a turlet. Still, Federline bets he'll end up having the last laugh once his album, as yet untitled, is released this spring. I'm not too worried about any of that, Federline. Well, you're going to rush out and buy it, aren't you?
I got my pre-order in already.
You're going to sniff around the edges of the CD because Britney might have touched it.
No, you know.
I'm not too worried about any of that, Federline said of the negative reviews in an interview last week with the AP. Eventually, the music will speak for itself. You're only going to look at me like this for so long. Oh, I'm looking at you, and I'm thinking, wow. The public hasn't had much of a positive view ever since Spears thrust the baggy pants-wearing, chain-smoking Federline into the spotlight as her backup dancer and boyfriend in 2004. How sad. The couple's trashy exploits since hooking up, including televising their quickie romance on the reality show Chaotic and wearing tracksuits at their wedding celebration, his read Pimp Daddy on the back, have helped make K-Fed a tabloid target and late-night show a joke magnet. He's a joke maggot. He's running a close second for Pimp of the Decade, says Star. He's right behind Bobby Brown. I think he's right behind Mikey Brown. You know, downtown Mikey Brown, doing a heck of a job. Lately, gossip mongers have suggested that Spears, who recently gave birth to son Sean, is tiring of Fiedeline's alleged party ways, though Fiedeline denies the rumors of strife. I love my kids. I'm a proud father, a happy husband, all of that, says Fiedeline, who also has 2 children with ex-girlfriend Char Jackson. They were never married, of course, by the way. I love my life with my wife as a normal person, and that's that. I love my life with my wife and no more strife. At Duncan Fife. And Fiedeline says he hasn't been spending most of his time partying, but working on the upcoming album. I've been in the closet with it for a while, says Fiedeline.
You fairy.
I don't know. I guess I'd have to say I'm the Rookie of the Year. Oh, boy. Besides a guest appearance from rapper P.D. Pablo, Fiedeline says there'll be no guest stars on his upcoming album. Oh, if P.D. Pablo's on, I got to rush out and get that. Rapper P.D. Pablo. Oh, my God. And, of course, at this juncture, you're supposed to say...
Hi, Papa Juan Pablo.
Oh, sorry, you didn't. Well, Josh did the other day when you were out sick.
Well, good. That's his job.
Okay, so that inspired me for tomorrow's poll, which we can start building anytime you want. Now, what do you think it's going to be? Let me mention one more name to you, okay? Just one. Eddie Murphy.
I'm supposed to guess the question now?
Right. And Kevin Federline.
Okay.
People who think they can sing. But can't. Now,
good.
This, huh?
Real good.
How about? Well, I mean, this could have like 4,000 names on it.
Yeah.
How about Celine Dion?
All right.
I mean, even Peter Jennings says you got to be in hell to appreciate her music, and even there it's annoying. Makes your ears bleed. So many and so little time. Especially, I mean, there are a lot of these people that were like TV stars on sitcoms or whatever kind of show, and then all of a sudden they became singers of a sort. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'll give you another one. And even though nobody will remember her, but because of that thing with the songs of the hits of the 70s, Vicki Lawrence.
Okay.
Now, Vicki Lawrence is an interesting lady because her whole life was based upon the fact that she was on the Carol Burnett show, and she looked a little like Carol Burnett, and she acted like her, and she was like Carol Burnett clone, like they were joined at the hip. And she's as bland. She could almost be on today's poll, but nobody knows who she is.
What is
that? The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia?
What else?
Well, that's a medley of her smash.
Right.
The Night the Lights Went Out in Georgia. Vicki Lawrence, she's sitting there. In fact, in the infomercial Time Life for the hits of the 70s, when they show her singing that song, she's like barely. It's like Perry Como on that in bed, you know, with that cube in his nose.
Perry Coma.
Yeah, Perry Como. Very good. Kind of like what's his name, Alistair on The Passions. And if I have to see that fancy schmancy one more time. Okay, that's enough. That's enough, Vicki Lawrence. Thank you. So there you go. That's a little something to work on that too for tomorrow. 5670560. I mean for tonight. I mean for whenever we put it on there. See, if we get enough with like 75,000 different polls on there, we'll be so far ahead of ourselves. These people won't, they won't be able to figure out who's on first. Kind of like our prior management. By the way, Greg just signed a 75-year contract to hang around a building. WQAM, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
A new name for your poll. Don Johnson. The one for tomorrow.
Ooh. Oh, Don Johnson. That's exactly what I had in mind. People that were like actors or on TV, and then all of a sudden they decided they could sing, like Eddie Murphy. Okay, thanks, Pally.
Thanks.
Okay. Is that Don on the phone? Oh, it's Stan Major. I say yes. I say no. Get a haircut. I say, oh, boy, those were the days, man. Those were the days when Stan was obsessed with Don Johnson. I still say A Boy and His Dog was his best movie.
No question. I told you I watched that again the other day.
With the great Jason Robards.
Had to show it to teen daughter, and she liked it a lot and went and showed it to her friends.
Now, how did she like the ending? I bet she chuckled at that.
She's still laughing. She was rolling on the floor for an hour.
Good choice, Don. Take it from me, sweetheart.
Right. You bet it was.
By the way, a lot of rumors about him, too, now that you mention that. But anyway. Hey, Don.
You fairy.
WQAM, hello.
Can I be on the radio?
No. 5670560, pound 560 in the Verizon Singular Wireless line. Somebody who thinks they can sing but can't.
Jamie Foxx.
And of course, who is it?
Jamie Foxx. He did Ray, and apparently because of that he thinks he's a singer, so he did that.
Oh,
Kanye
great
West
actor. Why did he have to spurl it, you know?
And you heard that. We have the parody. Here's the original.
Well, I'm in need.
And that's Jamie.
Yes, it's a trifling. Friends indeed.
Now, what's the parody? What is that called?
Nose Picker.
Oh, is that what that is? And you're knocking that.
No. The bit is great.
Yeah.
All right.
She takes the finger.
See?
Oh, that's coming up right
That's
after
not
the break.
Jamie. That's why it sounds good.
Yeah, that's right. That's somebody who can actually sing a little bit. Great actor. Why's he got to mess it up? You know, like Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy was funny until he got caught with that transvestite.
And you know what's funny is when he's impersonating other people singing, like as part of his comedy routine.
Yeah,
it's
hysterical.
great. Spot on.
Panic.
Right. Yeah, but
he can't sing a lick.
This is Neil Rogers.
They call me Mr. Moose, and I've been visiting to dwell the 1 an hour.
She takes the finger and digs it deep into a nostril for something green. Oh, she's a nose picker. She's digging down. Don't flick it at me. Her finger's long. Now I understand she's a nose picker. It's digging deep. But can't see the end of her finger. It's down around. Now I understand she's a nose picker. She's always making me sick. I can't believe. Dig in, girl. Go ahead, dig in. It's on her sleeve. It's gross, girl. You know it's gross. I'm gonna heat. Dig in, girl. Your nose picking. I'm gonna heat. Dig in, girl. Go ahead. Her finger's long. Now I understand she's a nose picker. It's digging deep.
1201 at 560 WQAM. I feel like we're like on a different station all of a sudden, don't you?
Oh, I feel very different.
I feel like we're on a different planet. Even Josh feels like liberated. And if he'd get that raise, he'd feel even better about it.
Yes, I would.
Well, how's Clarence doing? You seen him today yet?
No.
Oh, man. So Josh Cordes is running the show today, and things seem to be going pretty well. I mean, just this show. I mean, the whole station.
That's right. Everybody just start playing fart noises.
Well, there you go. If we had those on the sports shows, in fact, we certainly couldn't have done worse than that 1-1 that somebody threw in there. So there you go.
One what?
Army stretched to breaking point, report says. You ready for this?
I guess I'll have to be.
Stretched by frequent troop rotations to Iraq and Afghanistan, the Army's become a thin green line that could snap unless relief comes soon, according to a study for the Pentagon. Andrew Krepinovich, a retired Army officer who wrote the report under a Pentagon contract, concluded the Army cannot sustain the pace of troop deployments to Iraq long enough to break the back of the insurgency. He also suggested that the Pentagon's decision announced in December to begin reducing the force in Iraq this year was driven in part by a realization the Army was overextended. As evidence, he points to the Army's 2005 recruiting slump, missing its recruiting goal for the first time since '99, and its decision to offer much bigger enlistment bonuses and other incentives. You really begin to wonder just how much stress and strain there is on the Army, how much longer it can continue, he said in an interview. Oh, well, that being the case, let's go into Iran. Yeah. And then let's go into North Korea. And let's invade Canada. That's why we don't have to let Martin's out. Yeah. Well, we won't do that. It makes too much sense. How about Uzbekistan?
Let's do it.
5, 6, 7. Okay, let's get some singers on here. This is one list that I can't afford to deal around with. Okay, we got to get a whole bunch of names on here. If this is going to go on later, like tonight, whenever I'm in the mood to change it on you. Guess what happened to me yesterday?
What happened to you yesterday?
8 o'clock last night, 10 after 8. I'm looking at my watch. I don't know why I'm looking at my watch because I got a clock, but I'm looking at my watch to see what time because I don't want to miss Supernatural with Sam and Dean. See, Sam, I won't forget. Dean, yeah. At any rate. And I look at my watch and it said 10 to 4. And I thought maybe I had it on upside down. Do you ever do that?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
And it was not upside down. It was right side up. And the second hand was like sitting there. You know what I mean? Like not moving. And so right now, I would say for the first time in years, I'm doing a show. I have no watch on. Of course, I got all these different clocks in here, but I got no watch.
Huh.
I feel like naked. So after the show today, I got to go out and buy me a watch. Now, this was a Seiko. What do they call these? The ones that like
self-winding.
The self-winding, but like ever-ending. You know, until the battery dies. What do they call those?
I don't know.
Kinetic.
Okay.
You get really frenetic if it's kinetic cut. You ever live in kinetic cut?
All the time.
And at any rate, so I got to go out and find me. And I'm not going to go like spend zillions of dollars. I think it was like about a $200 watch. That's enough to spend on a watch. A real good one.
This one that Tim brought by for me and Josh is handy because it updates itself automatically with the satellite. But it's not. Yeah. It's not very pretty. You know, it's a plastic Casio looking thing.
In other words, you wouldn't wear it on your wrist.
I would to work. But you know, not out on a fancy date or nothing like that.
Oh. WQAM. Hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How about Regis Philbin?
He's singing?
Yeah, he had a Christmas CD out or something. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Gotta get him on there.
Oh, my God. Okay, thanks, Pally. Thanks for the bad news. Okay. Regis Philbin's got an album.
It's big, Neil. It's bigger than both of us.
Yeah, I'll bet. Wow. 5670560. What's his name doing? Brady Quinn at Notre Dame.
Who?
WQAM, hello. Well, Regis is a big Notre Dame fan. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I got a couple for you. David Hasselhoff and J-Lo.
Excellent. Two outstanding. In fact, you ever see them together? Same person. Thanks, Pally.
Right, later, man.
David Hasselhoff. He gives me spilkies, man. Boy, I know we talk about that all the time. And he's so popular in Germany, I wonder why. It couldn't be that name, could it? In fact, that's the number one show in Germany still is Baywatch. You will watch it whether you like it or not. It's on here. It's on here every night on one of our goofball channels. What channel is this? 318. On the Drive-In Movie channel. It's on every evening about, I don't know, whenever it's on. Oh, look at that. Clown and the Kid. What's that, David Hasselhoff?
Well, you think I got David Hasselhoff in here?
Oh, J-Lo.
There's always room for J-Lo.
Rectum. Yeah, always room for big fat J-Lo.
You butter it.
Uh-oh, I think this light is going out on here. Remember what I said about those bulbs? Are you going to take care of that? You think they could do that? Because I can't pull these babies out of here. I just don't have
I'll tell our program director to tell our engineer to send some up to you.
Bulbs, that's what I was talking about. Because I can probably yank these out of here with like a little pliers.
Just your fingers,
how weak my fingers are, huh?
Just grab on it and give it a pull.
No, I'm afraid to pull it. I don't want to. It's plastic. I don't want to like break these. You know.
Yeah, you might.
They're tender.
So.
5670560 pound 560 in the Verizon. I'm serious because I want to like replace all of these, and I don't want to have the guy up here is a great guy, the engineer, but I don't want to have him schlep over here to change a few little bulbs. I mean, if I could put in the two new Denon CD decks like I did.
Yeah.
If I could, and install my, with the help of my friend who's a computer expert, the two fax 4 and all-in-one things I got.
Well, we'll fly fix it up there to change your bulb.
I think Josh had a good idea on Friday, and that is with the BlackBerry maybe going out of business, I got to get me one of them phone, the all-in-one things, you know,
yeah.
with the camera.
Well, I know the kind to get.
And I can send you pictures of this beautiful studio and say, boy, are we jealous? That's a really neat place.
You want the Palm 650.
I'll write it right down.
If it's available with your service.
With what service?
Well, it depends. It might not be available with your particular service, or you know.
I don't go to services even on the high holidays. I'll check that out. I wrote down the Palm. Well, I'm not going to do that until a BlackBerry goes, you know.
No, absolutely, no rush. But just don't get a sidekick. Whatever you do, don't get this thing.
Get what thing? Oh, that one you
Everybody's
got?
got it.
No.
You know, they're great, except if you want to use it as a phone.
Well, I sure don't want to.
Or a camera.
WQAM. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
What about David Soul from Starsky and Hutch?
Oh, God. Don't give up on us, baby.
Baby.
Oh, could he sing or what?
No,
thanks, Pally.
All right.
Okay, you know something? Oh, you beat me to it. That's good, because I would have had to go through all those discs. I think it's on there. And those, it said hits of the 70s, but there was a letter in front of the hits.
I got your soul right here.
Oh, God.
I just gave up.
Wow. But see, that's the kind of person I'm talking about. Eddie Murphy, Don Johnson,
right.
David Soul, all these people that were like big, you know, they were big stars in TV or movies or whatever. And then all of a sudden, oh, I'm a singer. Poof, I'm a singer. Yeah, right.
By the way.
Yes.
Since you started out with him.
Eddie Murphy?
Right.
Could he sing or could he belt one out?
I know you went out
announce his sound or
bought
what?
This record.
Who went out and bought it?
You?
We went out and bought it.
Did you buy this record?
Get out of here. I would buy Eddie Murphy record? You must be doing bad drugs, man. That's why you're sick all the time.
I heard you like to party all the time.
Yeah.
That's what Eddie said.
Look in the mirror, sweetheart.
You fair God.
Party animal.
You know, if I sung like Eddie, I'd wait a long time before I started to.
Yeah. Well, he's building up the courage. He's getting rid of that transvestite, westite, whatever it is in the car. WQAM, hello. QAM.
Hey, how about William Shatner?
There's a great singer for you. He was just on Biography Channel the other night, and he still couldn't sing. Thanks a lot, Pally.
All right.
But at least he's got a great sense of humor, though. Although, see, I don't know if that's because he's not singing serious. You know, it's comedy. But we'll put it on there.
Sure.
Because he doesn't think he can sing. In fact, he knows he can't sing, but that's the whole idea of the albums. But it's amusing. Put it on there, just for old time's sake. Just for his wife, who's still in the pool.
Here you go. This is your favorite.
What just happened there? Now, where did this come from all of a sudden? Just out of nowhere. Everything was going along just extraordinarily well, and you played Bill Shatner, and all of a sudden the whole phone system crapped out. Because it's not doing anything now. Oh, there it is. QAM, hello.
Hello.
Hola.
We lost power, man. Can you hear us?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I hear you. But, I mean, so in other words, I'm sitting here punching the buttons wondering what the hell's going on. And there we go again with that crappy Florida plunder and loot again. We lost power down there. It's always on that end. It's always on the U.S. end, eh?
And when I say we lost power, both rooms shut down hard.
Well, my lines are flashing, though. But you're going to have to reboot the phone system because they're flashing like crazy, and I can't put nobody on here. Let me try it. QAM, hello. See, it shows that it picked the line up, but you're not... Hello?
There it is. You got control.
Hey.
We don't.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that David Saul from Starsky and Hutch?
David who?
Saul, wasn't his name David Saul?
Oh, don't give up on me. Yeah, we just got through doing that. We just got through playing that like 10 seconds ago. Don't give up. Well, he just wanted to hear it again. So what's the story? You got tourists there? Is that what you're telling me?
Everything is rebooting.
Oh, my God.
Speak,
well, at least I got my thing is working on this end. My phone is just fine on this end.
Oh, we're fine.
And you know, with the windows we have in here, boy, we had like a couple seconds of pitch blackness, and that's it.
Sun is shining here, baby. I mean, it's a little on the cool side. It's like 32.
You know, it's a good thing these computers are on backup power. Oh, wait, they're not.
Oh, I see. So, in other words, everything is out, like the DCS and all this stuff. What about the audio vault, eh? I better find out about that before I start doing a break.
Yeah, it's definitely out.
The audio vault is out?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Well, what the hell do we do now? I guess I'll do my spot, and then I'll just do it real slow. I'll do about a 10-minute spot for Troy and Balance. Read it twice? Oh, God, I'm telling you, that place. I kind of hinted around yesterday to our General Mangler, among the other things I touched on about engineering. Of course, he knows those guys from the KISS experience. He's had a kiss or two with those guys. And I told him that basically they just don't give a crap. But then again, they can control the weather and the fact that every time a pigeon flies over and has wild diarrhea, that we have, everything goes out. That's Florida plunder and loot for you. You know what I'm saying?
Do I know what you're saying?
Not that I'm trying to act like some engineer.
Who the hell are you?
Exactly. What do I know about it? Isn't that great that I'm the reason I'm going through these on here is because, obviously that's the only place I could find those. They're absolutely not fart sounds. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, like you played that all, and I guess I'll have to put that in the DCS because you play a lot of that stuff, which I have no idea where it is.
It's there in that machine.
It's all in the 360. Right. It's in the machine mod. It's a good machine.
Yes, it is.
Is your machine out? Is your 360
that thing comes back really quickly.
Yeah. It's a great machine mod. Like, for example, like that. Or like...
Do it again. Wow, I got to reset.
There you go.
Heineken.
All right.
1213 at 560. All right, George has got his goods back there. That's good. Now, which one was
Some
that?
of the goods. That was the 360. The
what about the
DCS
audio
is going through the whole
John?
file checking thing.
What about the audio vault?
Yeah, you're good to go.
All right.
Put on my 501s and I headed for the street. Just checked out the best of Hustler and I'm starting to feel the heat. Suddenly I see people checking out my button fly scene. Yeah, I got a first class riser. It done pitched to tent my jeans. Now I'm sporting a woody. I'm finding it impossible to conceal. I'm sporting a woody. I feel like an axle without a wheel. I saw the ghost of Elvis. He was sporting one too. Followed him up to the gates of Graceland just to see what he would do. His ghostly face was beaming as he headed for his room. There's a pretty little ghost, she's waiting for his post. Down in the jungle room, we're sporting what is in Memphis. It's really impossible to conceal. Sporting what is in Memphis. Alright. I feel like a natural without a wheel.
Sportingwood is in Memphis. It's almost impossible to conceal. Sportingwood is in Memphis. Feel like an absolute out.
Talking about our favorite Buffalonian, Woody Graber. 20 past noon at 560 WQAM. Oh, guess who else I added to our list?
Who else did you add to the list?
William Hung.
Oh, well.
Willie Nelson.
Oh, God. Willie, shut up.
On the road again. How about Bob Dylan?
Amen there.
Okay. I mean, those are people that actually, there are some folks who consider they can really sing, and they can't.
Oh.
Speaking of singers,
you're just writing a list out, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'm taking care of business.
I'm worried about getting stuff up.
Yeah, that's what I just heard on that bit. Village People singer among most wanted. He fails to surrender to San Mateo court. Speaking of people who can sing or maybe not. The Village People. A man who helped make famous the songs YMCA and In the Navy is still scheduled to be featured on the television show America's Most Wanted. After failing to surrender in a San Mateo County courtroom yesterday, according to San Mateo County Chief Deputy District Attorney Stephen Wagstaff. He's wagging it. Victor Willis, 54, the original policeman from the musical group The Village People, was scheduled to turn himself in after a $200,000 warrant for his arrest was issued October 20th. His new defense attorney, Dean Johnson, indicated he would appear in court, but he failed to do so. Even though Willis wasn't in court, a crew from the criminal-busting TV show America's Most Wanted, I bet you John Turchin was lurching there. A crew from America's Most Wanted, which has taped a segment on Willis and expected to air sometime during the second week of February, came to court yesterday. Willis was pulled over around 11 p.m. on July 11th last year in Daly City for an unspecified traffic violation in the area of Bayshore Boulevard and Geneva Avenue. Well, I'm sure that, if you're like on the West Coast, you know what that is. After being stopped, Willis was found to be in possession of 3.23 grams of cocaine and a loaded .45 caliber semi-automatic handgun, according to the DA. When questioned by police, Willis reportedly gave a false name. His brothers had a fake license, the DA said. Kind of like their music, fake. But fun. Their music was fun, but fake.
Right.
October 19, Willis reportedly left a phone message with his former attorney, Kenneth Quigley, informing him he would not be present at his October 20th sentencing because of some needed dental work. Maybe he's doing some smash mouth of football. San Mateo County Superior Court Judge Mark Forcum.
Excuse me?
F-O-R-C-U-M. How would you say that? Forcum?
If you don't like him.
Forcum. Issued a $200,000 bench warrant for Willis, who was out of custody on his own recognizance at the time. Willis previously accepted a plea bargain with a maximum 16-month term in state prison, enrolled in a drug and alcohol treatment program. Willis, whose probation report is quite negative, according to Forcum, is also charged with violating his probation from a 2003 incident in which he was found in possession of 4 grams of cocaine. According to America's Most Wanted website, he was convicted in 90 of drug possession, acquitted of rape in 93. He's had some issues, okay? Maybe he spent too much time in the Navy. Like that, you think?
I'm sure.
Now, don't we have that? What's that bit we got, YMCA?
I would tell you, but the DCS is still... I had to reset it again.
You still got issues there, huh?
Oh, yeah, several.
I'll be damned. But the audio vault's working. We're getting those spots on. And we're also going to take a call on line 9, which is probably not a good idea. WQAM whispering line. Hello. Not there. Oh, thank God. That was an act of God. Thank you so much.
Oh, God.
Thank you. See, I diddled around with that Village People story long enough to chase his ass away. WQAM, hello. WQAM, hello.
Hey, Neil, about people that think they can sing and they can't, how about When the Eagle Flies with John Ashcroft? That's the worst thing I ever heard.
It's a beautiful thing. Thank you. John Ashcroft. I don't know why I'm saying got it, because I'm the one that's writing the list out. I don't want because you're still on the other pool. What is the other pool? We already passed that one by, you know.
Who best fits this?
Who best fits this? Well, that's what tomorrow's is. Who best fits? If the foo fits, fight it. Someone who needs a personality transplant. Al Gore, 89, is past John Kerry. Oh man, 460 votes. John Kerry, 79. Martha Stewart, 56, as in Q, 56. She's on Sirius, Martha Stewart. Everybody sign up. I pay to hear her croak. Joe Zagacki, 47. Anna Cole Smith, 41. Tigers Woods, 39. Mel Gibson, 21. Bob's Greasy, 21. Is he ever? Kevin Costner, 14. Pete Sampras, 11. Ben Stein, 9. Jeff Gordon, 9. Ellen DeGenerate, 8. Bino Cook, 7. Senator Bill Nelson of Florida, 4. Bernie Williams, 3. And Jimmy Syphilis, he's only got 2.
You fairy.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. You blowing up over there too?
No problem. I just had shoved that little tray back, the tray at the bottom of the fax thing.
Yeah.
And so the faxes you just sent me just fell on the floor, but I got them. Tony Danza, very, very good. Ooh. Somebody faxes a cover of the album.
I'm glad, because I wouldn't have believed it otherwise.
Tony Danza. Oh, he ain't no Mario Lanza, I'll tell you that. The house I live in. Whoa. Good God. Thank you, Tim. And also, Hulk Hogan is a singer? That's what it says here.
Why would they lie?
Our audience wouldn't do it. Joey Lawrence. Oh, my God. He ain't no Steve Lawrence, I'll tell you that. I just wrote Joey Steve Lawrence. Joey Lawrence. Steven Seagal is a singer?
Okay.
John Travolta. That I know that for a fact. Sure. Hey, Johnny.
You fairy.
John Travolta. These are all people who were like very successful actors, actresses. Shaq, I think Shaq is a singer. That's right. I forgot about that.
How could you?
Shaq is a singer.
All right.
Jennifer Love Hewitt. I remember Bill Hewitt.
Yeah.
And Martin Hewitt.
Horrible.
What was the movie that Martin Hewitt was in with Brooke Shields? Oh, God, was that a hot movie. In fact, it was a movie about a fire. Didn't he set a fire?
Endless Love.
It was flaming.
Flaming.
Boy, I see you remember that because Brooke Shields was like naked on the floor.
No.
And you know who's in it? Don Murray played Daddy, and who played Mommy, and she was standing up there on the balcony looking down, and they were doing their thing on the floor.
Brooke was not naked in that movie either.
Well, she wasn't naked, but she wasn't naked in the other one either.
No, she was not.
But you wished.
I do.
Philip Michael Thomas.
Right.
Is a singer?
No, but he did it anyway.
Somebody pretended. Philip Michael Thomas. That is very sad. How about that Gooselar guy? I don't know what his name is, but boy, that show really got on my nerves. What was the name of it? Saved by the Bell? Boy, did that show annoy the hell out of me.
I never saw
and then that rapist kid was on there. He wasn't, You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
That Julio kid, that Beaner that was on there. You'd know him if you saw him. He's on some show now.
Mario
Isn't
Lopez?
That yeah, that's the one. That's exactly the one, Mario Lopez. Well, he got acquitted, I think, like Kobe, But Mario didn't score 82 points, didn't even sell 82 copies of the record. 27 past noon. There's Senator Jack Reed of Rhode Island who says...
But the risk is real.
Is real. See, there they go again, pandering.
A-E-double-R-I.
Oh!
G-A-N spells Kerrigan.
Yes!
Tired of all the crap I've heard about her. Wish we clubbed her head and we were without her.
Why?
E-double-R-I-G-A-N-U-C is a name that no fame had ever been connected with prior to why me.
Yes!
All right. Yeah. Don't be so quick to walk away. Oh, wait, hold on, man. That's not going to work. Let me just clear my throat. All right. Oh, shoot, man. This isn't going to work.
Hey, what's up, Justin? Are we going to do this?
Yeah, I'm going to do this, man. I just have to use some throat spray. That's all. All right, I'm all set. Go ahead and hit the music, brother.
Music.
Look out, girl. Don't be so quick to walk away.
Stop. You can't use that stuff. You okay?
No, it's nothing, man. It's like, I don't know, man, my voice ain't there today.
I think what Justin needs is a little motivation to rock his body. You all agree?
I agree.
All right, I have the latest issue of Hustler here. So, Justin, take a look at that.
Woo!
You ready to rock your body, baby?
Yeah, let's do it. Cue the music, man.
Cue music.
Don't be so quick to walk away. Hold on, stop.
Cut music.
Thank you.
Justin.
You fairy.
Anyway, there's another good one for our list.
All right.
Justin Tinkerbell.
Please.
And somebody says, Bill says Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
What a good list this is. Someone who thinks they can sing but can't. Eddie Murphy, Kevin Federline, Celine Dion, Vicki Lawrence, Don Johnson, Jamie Foxx, Regis Philbin, J-Lo,
Rectum,
David Hasselhoff, David Soul. Don't give up on us.
Name this
William Shatner,
guy.
William Hung, Willie Nelson, Bob Dylan, John Ashcroft. Why don't let that eagle get sore? Oh, sorry, I stepped on somebody.
Yeah, you got to guess who.
I can't hear it. What was it?
She rides the night.
I'll give you a hint. He's an excellent dancer. did a movie about dancing. Dirty Dancing.
Patrick Swayze. Oh. Well, I think we already got him on there.
Yeah, that's why
I
decided to
got me all
see if I had it.
there. That was the idea. Tony Danza, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan be singing?
I had no idea.
Wow.
They might have made that stuff up.
Joey Lawrence, John Revolta.
Whoa.
Philip Michael Thomas, Justin Tinkerbell, and Patrick Swayze. I think we just heard from him 20 moments ago. 5670560. Well, I guess you got your crap back working again, huh?
Yeah, eventually.
Damn it. Life was so much simpler when you didn't. WQAM, hello. See, they hung up because they got pissed off at that Patrick Swayze thing. Well, he just annoys the hell out of me all the way around.
Oh, big time.
Very aggravating. Can't act, can't sing. Maybe he can dance, like you just said.
He's an excellent dancer.
Good. Just like an excellent driver. WQAM, hello. Like Enrico Balai. He's a very good driver. Yes, sir.
Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders be singing.
Wait.
You know something? That is an excellent choice. As a matter of fact, oh, no, wait a minute. We can't play that one. What's that called? Just the money. What is that called?
Well,
there's
a couple. I want to find the right one.
Oh, gee. I don't want to play that Deion song because he says the N-word in there. I don't want to play that. We're not going to, you know what I'm saying? What is that thing called? Come on, Deion.
Must be the money.
Must be the money. Very good. How the hell did you find that?
Well, all right. I used the force.
He's singing in stereo.
Must be to the strength of voice.
At least we don't got to see him no more on those pregame shows with that pimp outfit he was wearing there for a long time. You know what I'm talking about, Josh?
I do, yeah.
Oh, boy. He made you Jones for Shannon Sharp. That's how annoying he was. And talk about a bad stereotype. Bye-bye, Deion. Suspected burglar sitting on a couch shot in townhouse in Lauderhill, just like that. A suspected burglar was shot and wounded by a female at a townhouse this morning, Channel 6 says. The shot man reported to be age 67. Yeah, I guess he shot. Maybe his shellacam shot. Was taken to Broward General Medical Center in Fort Lauderdale for his treatment of a non-life-threatening gunshot wound to his left side. He was reported in stable condition. Just like Enrico Balai, he's in stable condition. The incident started around 6:30 this morning. That was really something. Charles Balai from Channel 7 News called us this morning. Does anybody know who that is?
No.
The incident started around 6:30 this morning, the 5900 block of Northwest 23rd Street, when what was described as an elderly man entered the home and sat down on a couch. He just entered the home and sat down on the couch. Maybe he needs somebody to somewhere to rest his old bones.
Maybe.
One of three children living at the house saw the strange man and yelled to his mother, "Mommy, there's a man on the couch!" The mother grabbed a 9mm handgun and apparently ordered the stranger to leave several times. It wasn't immediately known what the man's reaction was, but the woman fired at least one shot, hitting the man. The man staggered outside and collapsed. Nothing was immediately known about the burglary suspect, but neighbors said a holding area for mental patients is located nearby, and that residents in the area have had problems in the past with break-ins and walk-ins from people who have left the facility. They have just left the building. Maybe it was Elvis. How old would he be right now? What year did he die? 78? 82? 2468?
They're about 77, maybe.
77, Sunset Strip, with kooky Ed Burns. Now, let's see, that's 28 years ago, so Elvis would be... I wouldn't be surprised, that might have been Elvis. Get Stan Major on the case. That was Elvis, man, 67. Let's look up, do a Google on Elvis on his bio and see what year he was born. Because, let's see, 61...
35.
Well, in 1935?
Let me
Are you sure?
verify that. No.
Are you sure?
77, like I said.
He was 77?
Yes.
What year was he born? What language am I speaking? Follow the bouncing balls. ¿Qué año? ¿En qué año did Elvis pop out?
1935.
35. Like I said, I was 65, so that would make him 71. So maybe this guy, maybe they got the age wrong. I think it's Elvis. He wanted to rest his weary bones. And this lady went in there and shot that poor old man. That's bad. Although, for some of that music, maybe she didn't like Elvis. What is this? From Greg Cote's blog today at the... well, what is that all about? The South Florida Radio Wars on a blog? How come they don't have the... Also, it says, could you please give more Toronto weather reports? It's really compelling radio. You should promote this, put up billboards. Toronto traffic and weather every 10 minutes only on 560 QM. It is compelling. It's sunny and about 30 is what it is.
About 30, man.
It is compelling. It's sure as hell less boring than the weather there. Anyway, so this must be from our friends across the street, no doubt, wouldn't you think?
I would imagine.
It says, from Greg Cote's blog today at blogs.herald.com, welcome to part 1. And you notice something? My name is not on here.
There's an explanation at the top.
I see. Today through Friday, we'll be accepting votes for your favorite and least favorite on-air sports personality, sorry, Neil Rogers, from rival sports radio stations QM and 790 The Ticket. Next week, part 2, the finals, the showdown, QAM versus 790, head-to-head, with the top... Well, how can it be head-to-head when they're leaving off midday, the highest-rated show on this station? Who are you fooling, Greg Kotex, you idiot, you... Oh, man. The top 2 favorites and least 2 favorites from each station is chosen by you squaring off of the 2 titles. After you vote, feel free to click on comments to praise or lobby for a host you enjoy the most, or rail against the host you find most annoying. This is on their blog. How do you like that? Mm-hmm. It's got who's your favorite QM radio personality, and it's got Big O, Hank, Eddie K, Jim Mandich. Who's your least favorite QM personality? Oh, and look at this. Talk about a loaded deck. They got 4 people from QAM. There's no Curtis Stevenson. There's no Geldy. They got 4 people on there. And they got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 people. Oh, man, who are you kidding? Well, what a joke. They got Branzig. Who the hell is Branzig?
I think they're that Dutch heavy metal band.
Seriously, you know who that is, Josh? Branzig, 10 to midnight?
It's their promotions director, I'm being told.
The promotion director is doing a show at night?
So it would seem.
Defoe, Dan LaBastard, O.J. McDuffie, Kevin Rogers, Joe Rose, Sid Rosenberg Cranstein, The Bookster, and Stu Gatz. So they got 4 people from our station and 9 from theirs. This is the biggest pile of crap, man. So this is from across the street. Like we're supposed to be upset about this. Your mama, that's my comment. And of course, leaving me off of there is a way of, goosing their number up there. Just like the time that the Sun Sentinel did the same thing. Well, guess what, Greg Cody? I'm afraid that Mario Lemieux just retired. So your days of hockey writing are all over. What an idiot he is. Look at that. He got me so excited. I knocked the DCS out of the audition thing.
Not again.
Same old, baby.
This is Neil Rogers. This is 560 QAM.
It's Dave in Miami town at 560 WQAM.
What's Gary Hart doing tonight?
Inquiring minds want to know.
That's why inquiring minds read the Miami Herald. Is Maurice Ferré really having sex with an alien from outer space?
It's in the Herald.
Is Paula Hawkins the true mother of the Elephant Man?
It's in the Herald.
Is John Kennedy sleeping with Max Headroom?
It's in the Herald.
Is Jim Baker about to give birth to Jerry Falwell's baby?
It's in the Herald.
Sex, more hot sex.
Oh, it's in the Herald.
Plus Gary Hart's amazing rice diet from Florida. A crossword puzzle that has no answers. Our own Pulitzer Prizes just for us.
And Pope's love letters to Neil Rogers.
And we're so sorry, Uncle Albert, but we haven't heard a bloody thing all day. Mindless, babbling rhetoric.
It's all in the latest issue of
the Miami Herald. Available at supermarket checkout counters everywhere. And where finer manure is spread.
That's what you're going to get in the Herald. Believe me, your bird will fly away and never come back home if you put that rag in the bottom of the bird cage. By the way, it's sunny and beautiful for whoever from across the street sent that fax. No extra charge for the info. So here's what we got. And, of course, it says, who is your favorite WQM radio personality? Now, the question says sports, sorry, Neil Rogers, but the poll itself says, who's your favorite WQM radio personality? I take great umbrage and exception to that, because they know that I kick all of their ass on both stations by a zillion votes. So let me tell you, Greg Kotex, you know what I'm doing with this fax right now? I'm wiping in a very delicate spot.
Rectum.
Oh, look at that. What can Brown do for you? God. Anyway, so you want to hear what's going on?
What's going on?
Okay, who is your favorite WQM radio personality? This will take a time because it's a blog and it's set up in a way that you got to go back and forth. Or they don't have Kimbo Camper, they don't have Gildy, they don't have Curtis. So we got 4 people listed there, and they got 9. They even got the promotions guy who does 2 hours late at night. But so obviously they're trying to stack the deck. So how about if our people stack the deck? Orlando El-Zaquiri, who is absolutely
rock solid.
5 to 7 a.m., 46 votes. Hank Goldberg, 68 votes. Eddie K, 32 votes. Jim Mandich, 158 votes.
All right.
How do you like that? Huh? Dan LaBastard. And by the way, little bastard, just remember that other poll they had, that phony thing in the Sun Sentinel, he was voting for himself 1,000 times?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see, we got Kathy Lee Gifford for that poll before I get back to that. Ashley Simpson, wow, she sure can lip sync. She can't even do that well.
No.
Ashley Simpson. Okay. Could you please play When the Queen Calls Prince Charles? What is that called? You'll figure it out.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so there's so 304 people voted on that, okay? We can goose that total way up there, which is obviously... Who is your least favorite WQM personality? Well, let's vote for, I don't know, the Big O. Now, don't take it personal, Orlando, although it's true. Well, they don't have some other names that could be on here. And you notice they waited until Mo left. See that? Greg Kotex waits until Mo left before he puts on this poll. 281 on that. So what did we say? 304 on the first one. And 281. 5, 8. So that's 585 QAM votes. The Big O, 59. The Humper, 130. The Humper's got a big number. Eddie K, 52. And Mad Dog, only 40. Okay, got those?
Okay.
Now, let's go over to your favorite on the ticket 790. They got a list of 45,000. Your favorite personality, I'm going to vote for Joe Rose, because he would be the only one on there that would give the time of day. Okay, what do they got? Who's winning it? Let me expand this thing. Guess who's winning it?
Who's winning it?
Dan LaBastard. You want to know why? Because he's voting for himself.
I see.
344, and about probably 50 of those are Dan You talk about an ego, man. This guy's unbelievable. Branzig, 23 votes. Defo, 22. Dan LaBastard, 95. Although Mad Dog's got a zillion more than that. O.J. McDuffie, 27. Kevin Rogers has got solamente dos. Joe Rose, 71. Sid Rosenberg, Steenkrantz, 10. Bookster, 66. And Stugatz, 28, only 28. Pretty weak. Okay, now we want to see who's got the least. I would say Stugatz. He belongs on the air like my golden retriever, rest in peace. Okay, how many votes we got on that? On the least? 298. Oh, see that? So they must have obviously had a head start on this. Now they want to get us that's fine. 642, 585. Least favorite, Branzig, 25. Jeff DeForest, 27. Dan LaBastard, 86. Far and away, hated and despised. We won the World Series. The Cubans won it, not the Marlins. The Cubans won the World Series. How do you like that?
Incredible.
You're a jackass, Danny boy. O.J. McDuffie, 30. He's got how many?
About 30, man.
Come on, don't be picking on the juice. Kevin Rogers, 12. Joe Rose, 25. Sidney Rosenkrantz Steenberg, 43. Don't pull Greg me down. I'll get all upset, Sidney, and start getting wacky again. Boog Shambi, 13. The Bookster. And Stugatz, 37. Stugatz.
37 what?
37 apples. 37 votes for the least favorite. In fact, he comes in the third, only behind Dan LaBastard, who's way on it. So that's what we got so far. You can go to the Herald website. This is where you'll find it. Miami Herald. Where the hell is it? Well, I'll tell you, that damn thing. There it is. It's right out there in the driveway. Run over it before somebody opens it up and reads it. And you go to where? Well, down there toward the bottom of the page, the main page there in the Herald where it says blogs. Greg Kotex, random evidence, and you click that baby on there, and then you can vote. South Florida Radio Wars. Yeah, Radio War my ass. Now that the Dolphin season is over, let's see just exactly what kind of a big number they throw in there in January, huh? Now that thing is over, and now that we've eliminated a couple of really lame hours on this station. Oh, I mean, really weak. U.S. Supreme Court blocks Florida execution. Aren't you thrilled?
Oh, yeah.
Florida death row inmate Clarence Hill won a last-minute Supreme Court stay Tuesday night about an hour after he was scheduled to be executed for killing a police officer. It wasn't clear if the court's intervention would only briefly delay his execution, which had been scheduled for 6 o'clock last night. Witnesses had gathered. Maybe they already fried his ass. Gave him the needle. But this is, what the hell? Oh, this is from last night. Probably dead already. Well, we don't know. You want to recheck it or not? No.
No.
Not important. An investigation is underway after a Dade officer shot a man in the groin. Now, remember yesterday we talked about the look on Lee Harvey Oswald's face when Jack Ruby shot him?
I didn't see that coming.
Well, I would imagine if you got shot in the groin, that's exactly the look you'd have on your face.
Right.
The one from Lee. According to a police news release, officers working with the Dade Police Department robbery interdiction team in the area of Northwest 12th Street and 2nd Avenue when they witnessed what they believed to be a firearm given by a male on the street to the driver of a Nissan Altima. And by the way, since I'm out of town in Toronto, we're talking about the Toronto weather and being out of touch. Isn't it interesting that in the month of November when Wilma was going on, even though we had greatly reduced numbers on this radio station, we still had a respectable number here at midday on this show. Any other ones were like measurable numbers as opposed to across the street where they had basically might as well been off the air. I just mentioned that. Produced a shiny object they believe was a gun. The passenger kept making several attempts underneath the seat, kept refusing the officer's request, said Joey Giordano, a Dade police officer. The officer saw him pull something out of the end. The officer fired one shot, striking him in the groin. The passenger, described as a Hispanic man in his 50s, was taken to Ryder Trauma Center in stable condition. A Hispanic man in his 50s.
By the way, we just had another outage.
Yeah. And? So don't tell me the audio fault's out.
Okay, we won't tell you. Of course it is.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
that gives me more time to vote a couple hundred times on this great blog here on the Herald. How's it coming? And speaking of getting shot in the groin, here's one for you. Syracuse, New York. For some male bats, sexual prowess comes with a price, smaller brains. A research team led by Syracuse University biologist Scott Pitnick found that in bat species where the females are promiscuous, the males boasting the largest testicles also had the smallest brains. Conversely, where the females were faithful, the males had smaller testes and larger brains. It turns out size does matter, said Pitnick. I wonder if he's related to Lance Pitlick, who played very weakly for the Panthers for about 5 minutes, whose findings were published in December in Proceedings of the Royal Society, Biological Science, and Online Journal. The study offers evidence that males, at least in some species, make an evolutionary trade-off between intelligence and sexual prowess, said David Hoskins, biologist at the Center for Ecology and Conservation at the University of Exeter in England, and leading authority on bats' mating behavior. Wouldn't that be something? I mean, like, what are you an expert on? What do you study? Bats' mating behavior.
Sure, why not?
Does that include, like, Batman and Robin? Bruce Wayne and his ward? Bats invest an enormous amount in testes, and the investment has to come from somewhere. There were no free lunches, said Hoskins, who didn't participate in the study. No free lunches, he said. I guess he never worked in radio. So what's the deal now? What are we doing?
We're waiting for things to reboot, reset, reload.
Reboot. See, there you go with that Canadian stuff again. Bad programming, man. Very bad programming. They're real unhappy with that across the street. Thank you so much for putting us on to Craig Cody's phony poll there. I mean, why doesn't he just put on no names from QA and just have a blank list and then put on the ones from across the street? As if, you know? Now, does Greg Kotex do a show over there or something? Is he on their staff? Do we know?
I'll ask one of the
ask around and find out, because we got Barry Jack. As a matter of fact, I would think so, because the Herald has this incestuous relationship with that whole station, right? Isn't that their flagship station?
Yep.
Well, so there you go. So once again, let's put a phony... See, one thing about our polls, man, we put any crap on there you want, even though they're very scientific. But with this Herald poll, this is supposed to be a major market newspaper, okay? It's supposed to be, like, responsible about 50 years ago, before all your people took it over. Don't forget, it wasn't, with Dan LeBastard. Dan LeBastard and Greg Kotex. That was the same Greg Kotex who said, too bad the Panthers are done, in the year when they went to the Stanley Cup Finals, when they were playing the Penguins, which they wound up cleaning up the ice with Pittsburgh. Oh, too bad they're out of gas, and they give it a good shot. And yeah, right. What you know about hockey, Greg Kotex, I could shove in your and have room for the Chinese army left over, Simpleton. Okay, so let's do the break if the thing is ready or not.
Yeah, or not.
Or not? That's bad.
Well, the good news is, here's a box from Amazon.
Oh, you got another package?
Yeah, did you send another one?
Yes.
All right, well, here it is.
Open that baby up. In fact, what's the name of that movie? The second one I sent you, Imaginary Heroes, I believe.
That's what it says on my piece of paper.
Is that what it's in there? Does it say Imaginary Hero?
Oh, I'm carving it open. You know how those
carve that baby. Don't carve into the box.
No, I wouldn't do that. Again.
So now you got two movies to watch.
There it is, Imaginary Heroes.
No, you'll like it.
I'm cashing up.
Now the one scene, because you get real all bent out of shape, like the Mugwump, whatever that movie was.
The Mugwump boy.
Right. There is a scene there where he's a little inebriated, and it's his. And the guy that called the other day about, well, isn't that really his stepbrother or his half brother? Well, what difference does that make? See, I understand the technical point, but the fact of the matter is those two guys aren't going to make babies, I don't think.
Yeah, and grody no matter how you slice it.
No, well, you don't really see anything. A kiss, you can handle a kiss, you know?
I can handle it.
Yeah, like I could handle a kiss from Sam on that Supernatural
I'll just
show.
turn away.
I could probably handle more than one.
I'll avert my eyes.
Who best fits this? Someone who needs a personality transplant besides Greg Kotex. Al Gore, 104. John Kerry, 89. Martha Stewart, 63. I wonder if she's related to Ron Stewart, who wound up killing Terry Sawchuk. Joe Zagacki, 53. Anna Nicole Smith, 51. Tiger Woods, 43. Bob Greasy, 26. Mel Gibson, 23. Toronto weather, sunny and beautiful. Ben Stein, 18. Kevin Costner, 15. Pete Sampras, 14. Beano Cook, 11. And, of course, it's compelling because it really takes a whole long time. Jeff Gordon, 11. Ellen DeGenerate, 9. Jimmy Syphilis, 6. Senator Bill Nelson, 4. And Bernie Williams, 4. It's really compelling when you got a 1-6 share in midday or whatever they got. Anyway, what do you got? Nothing working?
Josh.
No, nothing's working. I'll let you know.
You'll let me know what?
when I see something?
Well, we got the whole rest of that break to do, man. One thing we don't want to do on this station is miss any spots. We're not like these other people with their big egos voting for themselves in polls and stupid-ass stuff like that. We're not about that. What we're about is like getting on the spot so we can charge somebody money. Now, how about the other room? Are they like machinating with the other room or something? Or are they like...
who doing what where?
In other words, nobody's doing nothing is what you're telling me? Well, where's the program director in the middle of this? Where's our program director? Where's our little boy PD when you have hurricanes? Huh? Where is he? Is he
There isn't a cloud in the sky, and the way that this is happening, it doesn't feel like it's an FPL power outage. It feels like somebody's tripping circuit breakers somewhere.
Somebody's tripping circuit breakers?
Yeah, or just tripping.
Somebody's tripping out?
I'm tripping.
When in doubt. Well, I guess I could play the legal ID now, couldn't I? Do something?
You could, or play the illegal ID.
How about a short legal ID?
The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
All right. Okay, so let me see if we're getting any results there on that blog on the Herald. Let's see if we can impact that and goose up the IOD crowd, not the QAM crowd. MiamiHerald.com. I'm getting an earache just from thinking about Greg Kotex. He just really gives me spilkies. It's so obvious, so pathetic, you know. See, if you're going to do a thing, why don't you have the balls to do it like fairly, honestly, okay? Leaving me off of
lose.
And leaving all the other people off of there? Okay, favorite QM personality. This time I'll vote for Eddie K. Okay, I'll try to, spread him around. I'll vote for somebody different every time. Because he probably needs to vote anyway. He's on there when everybody's schluffing. Okay, 326 votes on there so far. Well, that's not much. We're not getting much action on that blog, you guys. What the hell's wrong from you? The Big O's got 48. Hank's got 75. Eddie K, 33. Mad Dog, 170. He's got more than everybody else put together, or dang near. The Mad Dog, who ought to be on 2 to 6 at any price. Give him a blank check, guys. Your least favorite, let's vote for, I don't know, Mad Dog, just because he's doing too well anyway, right? Just to spread it around.
Right.
Least favorite. Come on, let's go. Let's open this baby up. Boy, their website really blows. How many we got? 299. So that's really weak. 5, 3, 600. Orlando 65, Henry Goldberg 133, Eddie K 57, and Mad Dog only 44. The least. Now, speaking of the least, let's go to their guys, which they're obviously loading up on this, which was their idea. Oh, let's give them all that publicity. Remember how well it worked for them the last time?
Yeah, put them on the top.
And then after that, the next several months in a row, they got those points. Yeah. So you can vote online all you want. You can load up everybody, and you can sit there tapping away. In the meantime, that doesn't give you any diaries. It doesn't give that $1 a holler any kind of a goose, you know? So maybe $1.25 a holler. What do you think?
No.
And no interest? Okay, $7.90 the ticket, your favorite. Let's vote for Jeff DeForest, who ain't coming here, by the way. Jeff DeForest, what do we got? Branzig, 23. They're trying to dump him over to us, Defoe, and we're not interested. Branzig, 23. Defoe, only 23. No, small potatoes. Danny LeBastard, 98. He probably voted half of those himself. Let's see, they got 366 on the plus side. O.J. McDuffie, the Juice, 27. That's comical. Kevin Rogers, only 4. Joe Rose, 84, who should be way ahead of everybody. Sidney Rosensteinberg, 10. Boog Shambi, 69. And Stu Gatz, 28. Well, they're not, making much movement on there now. How's that equipment coming, Josh? Your least favorite, let's vote for Stugatz again. Oh, yeah. Let's give a shot for Stugatz, a shout-out. How many they got on least favorite? 321. So we got 635, and they got 687. Well, we're closing that gap.
What's that blog address again now that I got my computer back?
Just MiamiHerald.com, and then you go under that main page, and you go about two-thirds of the way down on Greg Kotek's blog, and where it says whatever. Branzig, 25. Jeff DeForest, 29. Least favorite, Dan LeBastard, 97. They hate him like poison. They wish that somebody would poison his enema. O.J. McDuffie, 31. Kevin Rogers, 12. Joe Rose, 25. Sidney Rosensteinberg, go back to New York, 48. That's pretty high for a guy that's on for like about 5 minutes. Luke Shambi, 13. And Stugatz, 41. 41. And Daddy's still got a lot of money. Just like Joel Feinberg. I guess that's what they got over there, a lot of money. Of course, now that we're dropping in a few sounds that sound like it might be a fart, now they're going to be in trouble. Not that we're playing any fart sounds, you understand.
Well, of course not.
More terrible singers for that poll. Good, that's good. Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis is a singer?
He tried to or did something.
Although he was good in that movie. What movie was it he was good in?
I don't know which one. He's been all right in a couple.
Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark?
A giant, he's a singer of sorts.
That's how he started out. He's a way better actor than he is a singer.
Marky Mark.
He's kind of a reverse
Yoko Ono. Now we're talking. Now we are talking. Pat Boone. Oh, come on. I mean, I can't stand Pat Boone, but he sang some tune, Pat Boone. Paris Hilton, she's got an album out this month. We haven't heard it yet, but we know she sucks. Well, and Kelly Osbourne. Ooh. Oh, you're picking on poor Kelly?
Yes, please, let's.
Kelly Osbourne. Who are you kidding, honey? Okay, that's from that Riley guy again. Okay. So we're keeping close track of that Greg Kotek's thing over there, that stack. Now, how many more votes do you think? How many thousand votes do you think we'd have for QAM on there in addition if he would have put my name on it? He doesn't have the balls to do it, do you? Do you, Greg Kotek's, huh? You could still change it. Make it a fair poll. You say, who's your favorite radio personality on either station? And you won't do it because, I clean their clock, okay? I want to flow up with them, and you know it. The whole bunch of them goyim over there put together, including that Sidney Rosencrantz Schwartz. What a joke. What a market, man. What a market. Even Publix is a hell of a lot better market than that South Florida toilet. WQAM, Greg Kotek's line. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how you doing?
Okay.
Hulk Hogan does not sing. His daughter, Brooke, does, so that's probably confusion.
Really?
Yes.
Brooke Hogan?
Yes, she's like 17 years old.
Hogan?
She's very hot blonde
girl. I'm going to cross the whole
girl.
thing off then. I'll cross it off.
Okay, bye.
Thanks, Pally.
Don't talk bad about Brooke Hogan now.
I beg your pardon?
So don't talk bad about Brooke Hogan now.
Why, is she hot?
Oh, yeah.
How old is she, about 12?
That's
But you had the hots for Hillary Duff, too, I understand.
I'm sorry?
Don't let Duff know that Josh has got the hots for Duff. Hillary Duff.
I definitely don't.
She's gross.
Yes.
How old is she, about 5?
Something like that.
So, Hulk Hogan's daughter, that is, huh? Brooke Hogan?
Brooke, yeah, very hot.
Is that battling Brooke? Well, then let's not put her on her. We don't want to take a shot if she's hot.
I don't think I've ever heard of her.
Although Marky Mark was kind of hot in his day. He was doing all them underwears commercials of Calvin Klein.
Were they clean?
Klein. WQAM, hello. Spot Free Radio, hello.
This is QAM?
Yes, sir.
Yes, how about the obnoxious Lisa Marie Presley?
Lisa Marie, she couldn't sing a rat of a paper sack, but she's sure anxious to have Michael Jackson's baby. Thank you, Pally.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. What did he say?
Uh-huh.
Oh. Lisa Marie Presley. Wow. All the great singers all the time. No wonder nobody's buying no more CDs. God. These are artists you wouldn't even want to steal their music for free. If they paid you, you wouldn't listen to it. WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
George.
Yo.
How you doing?
All right.
Hey, just got in the radio too. In the vehicle. You guys are switching poles here on me, or what you guys?
Yeah, we got all kinds of them going. Which one do you like?
Okay, I'll tell you what. I got a couple of names. Your favorite guys for the ones that can't sing. My man Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
And your boy Will Smith.
That's fabulous. That's my
closing,
favorite. He's getting my vote. Yep.
In closing, is there any way you can play again that all-you-can-eat Negro?
Hey, if we don't get any spots, we'll have time to play it twice. Okay, he just disappeared. I think you're right. I think there's some hanky-panky going on today. What is that? That Will Smith?
Oh, yes, where there's a will, there's a way.
Oh, God.
Wait, he hasn't gotten jiggy with it yet.
Good. I don't want to hear that part. I don't want to hear that jiggy part. I get kind of siggy when I hear that jiggy. Oh, man, he gives me the creep. And you know something? I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I see him like on TV
he just rubs it
in
wrong.
a movie, and he just annoys the crap on me. Because you can just tell he's got such an attitude, man. He thinks his stuff don't stink. And I heard it does. How many bullets does it take? Who did Mo to butcher music? Boy. Now, and you notice an interesting thing. I don't know what this has to do with it. But the lady with the mustache, and it's very sad because her mama died and she couldn't find out about it until she's on the phone, which is one hell, mama died and she just disappeared. And, but they keep showing that. And I mean, granted, they can't say, well, here's a lady with a mustache, but
they
don't.
Might as well.
I know, don't you find it? I think that's why they keep showing that over and over again. I don't think they have any sympathy for her and her family.
She's also fat.
Yeah, right, exactly. But, I mean, I just don't understand what you look at that and you say, don't you find something a little bizarre there? Yeah, okay, kill him first. WQAM, Spotless Radio, hello.
Is this Neil?
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing? Speak to Neil?
Speaking. Let me say it again. You said, is this Neil? And I said, yep. And still me.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
okay, good call.
You scared him.
WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to talk to Neil about the poll.
Speaking.
This is Dave.
Hey, Dave.
How you doing?
All right.
I want to tell him Paul Sorvino from Goodfellas.
Paul Sorvino is a singer? He is a singer?
He did his Christmas songs.
Oh, my God. That's scary.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get hit for doing that. Thanks a lot, Pally. Tell Neil that Paul Sorvino ought to be on there.
Oh, Paulie. Won't see him no more.
Good. 567. Now, it's getting close to the break in the next hour, and I just don't know what you people are thinking about over there, except maybe lunch. You know, what's the story? Well, how do you feel about dessert?
Hey, Josh is trying to answer. We won't.
There was a good movie I turned you on to. Now,
right.
did you give that to Josh? Did he watch Pin?
Did I give that to you, Josh?
No.
I'm
not watching another movie.
Get out of here. You're not watching another movie. Why? Because I won't watch City of God? You're going to play hard ass? Well, guess what? That's going to be your loss because you're going to miss a lot of good movies.
Oh, sorry, man.
Too bad. Too bad.
Well, Battle of the Hard Asses.
Yeah.
Which one will break first?
Rectum.
Now, you would recommend Pin, wouldn't you? It's not a great movie, but it's enjoyable.
It's just fun. I give it a...
It's interesting.
I give it a what? I pass it.
Well, there you go. El Paso.
Right.
And I think Primal Fear and whatever Imaginary Heroes, you like both of those too. And you can pass them along to Josh or not. He can be a hard ass and not watch either one of those. Although I think you already watched Primal Fear, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Now, that was good?
Yeah, I liked it.
It was very good. Sleepers, I recommend it highly. You said
Sleepers
you've seen
great.
That. It was great. So what's not to like? I don't understand. Just because I won't watch City of God?
You said.
I don't care. I
Magnolia?
lied, okay? I got you to watch Magnolia, and you didn't like it anyway.
What do you mean? I said I did like. Where do you get
so there's another one I turned you on to that was great, Magnolia. Jesus Christ, we're giving you all this entertainment, most of it for free. I'm spending the money and giving you. Or where did you get Magnolia? Some listener brought that in, right?
Right.
He burned you one, and the disc two. God.
And I'm trying to give you a good movie to watch.
And here you keep begging me to go to bat for that raise of yours, and what do you do? What do you just slap me in the face with that City of God, man? It's just that.
I burned you a copy special.
There's nothing worse than an ungrateful goy. So let me ask you, are we going to do some spots or not? Because we're going to get
not anytime soon.
Huh?
I tell you what, maybe we'll just go to like 140 and the rest of the show will be spots.
Like Alan Burke used to do. Well, he used to do it on purpose, not because there was a technical malfunction. He'd just keep going until he got tired of it, and then whenever he wanted to do the break, they'd play like 15 minutes of spots. Kind of like some other show I can think of. Anyway, it's 12 minutes after 1. I'm going to do my spots, and if you ain't got no spots, too bad. Even the Dalmatians got spots. Even the Leopards got better spots. You know, we got nothing. And you mean to tell me there's nobody working on it? There's nobody...
oh, they're working on it.
Who's they?
The engineers.
Yes. And what about the program director? Has he got his finger in this?
He's flying around somewhere.
Is he there?
No.
He is not there. Say, I want you to say that again. He is not there?
He is not there.
Here. If you're in a dead-end job,
Down for 6.7. Don't buy BBGI.
Our mighty and fearless leader listens to our private phone calls. Let's listen in on one of his.
I'm trying to tell you, son. You got this country headed for a train wreck. Look here, Pop. I don't give a damn. I'm the commander and the chief. I'm a wartime president, and I'm going to do things my way. But there are provisions in the revised Patriot Act that undermines the Constitution. Stop throwing the Constitution in my face. It's just a damn piece of paper. I'm tired of hearing about it. Jesus appointed me, not you. Look, I'm just trying to give you some advice. Excuse me. Vittles is ready. Vittles? Did you say Vittles? Yes, Vittles. Son, may I remind you, you're from Connecticut.
I wonder if them is tender vittles he's eating. 22 after 1 at QM. You know, another thing about this bogus Herald Greg Kotex poll. Like I said, they got 9 people listed for across the street and 4 for us. So do the math, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, man, you're going to make me do math?
Yeah, do the math. Did you take a look at it?
Yeah, I looked at it.
And how ridiculous it is?
Voted on it. It's a crock.
Yeah, it's a crock of crap. In fact, at least the one thing we say about the Herald, they may not be good, but they're consistent. In fact, I don't even know why he put his name on it. Why didn't he just put Danny LeBastard's name on it? That would have been a little more accurate. Hey, Danny boy, you still suck. And by the way, let me say it again, 6.8 to 1.6. Does that sound like competition? No. Could have a scab on my fat ass, and it would be like more of a difficult situation than them. Well, we don't want to put that Neil Rogers on there because, we don't want, we're trying to, make this look good, competitive. Just wait till the end of whatever that month is. You know what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
I'm saying when they drop that December, when the winter book comes out, they're going to be off tourist over there. Especially now we got those big Panther numbers coming in. Oh, man. You just wait. You ain't seen nothing yet. 5, 6, 7. We're going to be doing another break pretty soon, I would imagine. Apologize for that. But in the meantime, here's a Maureen Dowd. Delusion and illusion worthy of Dickens. Don't you love when I read Maureen Dowd's columns?
Especially if it's about Dickens.
It's not about cider. The Democrats will never win the White House as long as they're stuck in Bleak House. They're slipping and sliding in the same crust upon crust of mud and caboose-creeping fog and soft black drizzle and flakes of soot that blackened the Chamber of Law in the opening of the terrific Dickens novel, now an irresistible PBS series. The lumbering pace of Jardice versus Jardice will pale compared with... Is that how you say that?
I have no idea.
Will pale compared with the time it'll take the cowed and colicky Democrats to yank back power from Republicans skilled at abusing it. The party simply seems incapable of getting the muscular message and riveting messenger needed to dispel the mud, fog, drizzle, and soot emanating from Karl Rove's rag-and-bone shop on Pennsylvania Avenue. As the White House drives its truckload of lies around the country, it becomes ever clearer that Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid, Hillary Clinton, John Kerry, and Al Gore are not the right people to respond to the administration's national security scare-a-thon. We got mired in Iraq in the first place, partly because Dick Cheney and Rummy thought that post-Vietnam and post-Clinton America was seen as soft. One shock and awe session, one tyrant stomped on. They reckoned in the Arab world would no longer see Americans as wimps. That reasoning turned out to be dangerous, flying in the face of warnings from our own intelligence experts. But Karl Rove is still dishing out the same line, and it's still working. Those who want to reevaluate the strategy in Iraq are soft. Those who want to rein in the Patriot Act are soft. Those who question the Alito doctrine of presidential absolutism are soft. Those who don't want to break the law and snoop on Americans are soft. Not just soft, but practically collaborating with the terrorists. Republicans have a post-9/11 worldview on national security, Mr. Rove said last week, and many Democrats have a pre-9/11 worldview. That doesn't make them unpatriotic, not at all, but it does make them wrong, deeply and profoundly and consistently wrong, he'd be saying. But you only need to check the paper, David, to see this administration has been deeply and profoundly and consistently wrong on everything, from the promise to rebuild Iraq and the consequences of deploying a strained army this long in an insurgent war, to the failure to respond to the aftermath of Katrina after dissembling about pre-storm alarms. The bumbling Bush team that ignored the warning, bin Laden determined to attack inside the U.S., also ignored one that went something like, Katrina determined to attack New Orleans. And now the White House is trying to inhibit congressional questions on Katrina, just as it did for the 9/11 inquiries. The administration's PR offensive on warrantless and questionably effective snooping is so aggressive that it's even risked exposing the president to an occasional unscripted, but still not tough question. So he rambles on about steering clear of Brokeback Mountain and the therapeutic value of mountain biking. And he calls Barney, the Scottish Terrier, the son I never had. Barney's dad is all bark and no bite. The White House is as skittish about built Indians as it is about billing and cooing cowboys. It admits it has pictures of the president with Jack Abramoff, but it won't cough him up. While he was out defending his scofflaw behavior, W. had to address the fact that the real nuclear threat, Iran, as opposed to the fake nuclear threat, Iraq, is embarrassing him. He told the Iranian people, "We have no beef with you." State Department reporters puzzled over how that might be translated into Farsi. "We have no cow with you?" You couldn't turn on a TV this week without seeing torture guy Alberto Gonzalez giving all-purpose legal cover to Dick Cheney as that grim peeper ravages the Constitution. At a Georgetown University speech, W's legal lickspittle ignored a few student protesters, but he might have learned something from their banner emblazoned with the words of Benjamin Franklin, "Those who would sacrifice liberty for security deserve neither." In their usual twisted way, the Bushies are reducing their abuse of law to a test of testosterone, knowing the Democrats will play Judy to their punch. The Dems need to drum up a decent message so they look as if they know what the dickens they're doing before the November election. Otherwise, they'll look like bowed supplicants holding out gruel cups to Karl Rove and pleading, "Please, sir, I want some more." Some more. Maureen Dowd, as usual, brilliant. Not a great reading, but
very good.
I beg your pardon, it was not bad.
That was great.
I don't give a dickens. 27 past 1.
I can't believe my Joe's gone.
Oh, I know. Come here. Girlfriend, your breath is rank.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Luckily, I brought along the first ever breath freshener for people grieving the loss of a loved one.
Really?
Yeah. They're called bereavements.
Bereavements?
Yeah, this powerful breath and air freshener eliminates bad breath and the stench of death at the same time. Here, try one.
Refreshing.
Bereavements, the breath freshener for people mourning the loss of a loved one.
Thanks, Bereavements.
Located at your grocer's counter or funeral parlor next to the lip and balm.
132 at 560 WQM, so we're almost even Steven on the votes now with that other across the street, the ticket that Clarence is obsessed with if he'd ever show up to work. And Mad Dog is kicking Danny LeBastard's ass. For example, who's your favorite? 188 for Mad Dog. Your least favorite, Danny LeBastard, 118. How do you like that? By a zillion miles. Mad Dog is a zillion miles out of everybody on who's your favorite, and Danny LeBastard way down the road. They hate him like poison. Wish he would die a wicked death. They wish he'd elope with the Boogster. Oh, you wait till you hear the stories that Josh just told me the other day about those two. 5670560. We can't do it on the air. Pound 560 on the Verizon Singular Wireless line. Okay, let's get back to whichever poll this is. We got two going at the same time because I'm building the one for tomorrow, and that's probably a bad mistake, don't you think? No.
No, whatever.
Well, no, we needed to get all those 8 million names on there for people who couldn't sing it out of a paper sack. I'll tell you who can't sing at all. Rumsfeld. Who best fits this? And we're getting tired of that old song, by the way, Hermann Goering. Someone who needs a personality transplant. We got 633 on air. Al Gore, 119. John Kerry, 108. Not looking too good for our Democrats, is it? No. In fact, that's what Maureen just wrote, didn't she?
Right.
Martha Stewart, 68. Joe Zagacki, 66. Same person. Anna Nicole Smith, 59. Tiger Woods, 45. God, is he terminal. Mel Gibson, 27. Bob Greasy, 27. He is as expressionless as a paper bag. Ben Stein, 24. You want Ben Stein's money?
Clear on.
Rather that you had it, split it up between you guys and send me a couple of bucks. Pete Sampras, 19, the clammy one. Kevin Costner, 17. Beano Cook, 14. Boy, they hate the old Beano. In fact, you know, if you don't take the Beano, you know what happens, don't you?
No, I don't.
Well, I don't know where I'm going to find it. See, I got to put those, well, I'll see. We'll see exactly where we stand with all this if we come back tomorrow or not. Well, I got that wink, wink, nudge, nudge, nod, nod, and I mean, maybe I was interpreting it wrong, but I don't think so. And, of course, since we don't have a program director. You see, you people over there on the West Coast with all your efficiency experts, they sent a guy over last year who worked for CBS once upon a time, and he's the one that came in to say, well, you got all these extra people there. You don't need Ray Perry, and you don't need Duff Lindsay. Yeah, right. So now we got nobody. We got nobody. And in the meantime, what was I going to say? Oh, that. In the meantime, we got poor Joe Bell, our new GM, who's trying to figure out who's on first and what kind of a mess he's been left with there. And so he's plenty busy, especially with that sales department. And as a result, we got all this other stuff going on. Mm-hmm. And there ain't nobody there to deal with it. Remember the old days when if we go off the air for like 5 seconds like we did twice already today, who would be in there like in a heartbeat?
Between.
I'm talking about at this radio station.
Oh, at this radio station. Right, Duff.
Right. Why are you so reluctant to say that? I mean, sometimes being a nervous Nelly isn't all a bad thing.
No, sometimes you want a nervous
Yeah, Ron a nervous Nelly that like, oh, gee, it's a lawsuit, Greg. It's whatever, whatever he's squealing about that day.
So that you wouldn't feel alone.
You are not alone, guys.
There you go. So that you knew somebody might be on top of it, so to speak. Was over there, yanking with the engineers. But now it's like the first time we went, it was like happened by osmosis, and then only the second time did they finally come around and diddle with stuff, so we could play all those important spots. God, it's just amazing to me. Like, I guess they figure we're like on autopilot. What was I saying on Friday, long before all of this stuff happened with the paycheck, with the technical going off the air? What was I saying?
I don't know. I forgot.
We need a full-time program director, not somebody who comes in once in a while and pushes some papers around and writes up a schedule and wants to be a UM sports nerd guy. If you want to be, listen, WVUM is hiring, okay? VUM is hiring. You follow what I'm saying?
What are you saying?
And I'll guarantee you, by the way, that they probably pay me $5 million a year to go across the street, even though they don't really lie about it, because that would put their ass on the map. They realize that midday they might as well sign off. They know that. Why do you think he's not putting me on that poll?
Oh, obviously.
Well, it's so obvious. It's embarrassing. People are laughing at you, Greg Kotex. They're saying, oh, well, we know you won't put Neil Rogers on there, even though it says favorite radio personality under the guise of, well, he doesn't do a sports show. Guess what? I'll do a sports show and still kick their ass. How do you like that, Mr. Hotshot? Mr. Panthers ain't going to beat the Penguins. Mr. Schmucko. Good golly, Miss Molly. What a bunch of losers, man. The market is just loaded with losers. But Charles Belay called us today. Who the hell needs Greg Kotex when you got old Chuck Belay on your side? Who? And probably that, what's her name? Spilky's Neray. Well, we don't want her on our side. You can have her on your side.
Sorry, she's on the dark side.
A peace activist. Oh, really? But she don't have no mustache.
Have you looked at her lately?
No. That's why I'm in a pretty good mood today. In fact, maybe my check will show up today. The other one that's supposed to be there, maybe then they'll both be there. Like everything that's supposed to be there today, We'll find out in about a half an hour. In fact, if not, I might just come in and interrupt Curtis right in the middle of his show and start just screaming and carrying on and making horrible sounds. A peace act, and you folks out there, even though it's meaningless and like the whole thing is stacked against us, you'd get on there and vote for whoever you like on the QAM. 8 million times on a Herald poll. Reboot it, refresh it, vote for it all day long. Just sit there and keep tapping on it, just to piss them off. Not that we really care, because that ain't the poll that counts. Now, wouldn't it make sense if you really wanted to do it right? Just make a list of who's on at what time.
Right.
Here's 2 columns. Sure. Here's the QAM list, and here's the whatever their waxy list. Right. And then who's your least favorite? The same thing, 2 columns, and then all of us would be on whoever is on. But no.
And why are you disqualified because you're not doing a sports show? Maybe that's a statement. In other words,
because
people like
Greg
it.
Kotex is a sports nerd, don't you understand?
No,
Greg Kotex comes from the same mold as your part-time program director. That's all he knows about is. Although he's listening right now. And by the way, you're still a loser, Greg. You're still the same idiot that you always were. You haven't written anything worth reading in ages. At least Fred Grimm once in a while. He writes something good, or Mike Mayo twice a year. Carl Hyson when he's not writing about alligators and mugwumps. But Greg Kotex, when's the last time he wrote anything of note that anybody might remember, huh? In fact, as a matter of fact, even the Toronto weather forecast is more interesting and more compelling than Greg Kotex's column. How do you like that? No strings attached. Now, what's that bit about? Oh, that's right, the dolphin thing, where they only have one string. What does he say in that bit?
They're only good for one period, and they have no second string.
They have no second string. That's cute, but that's before they won 6 in a row, so we stopped playing that. I think we ought to start playing it again for next year. A peace activist was sentenced yesterday to 6 months in prison for splattering his own blood at a military recruiting station to protest the then-looming war in Iraq. Daniel Burns was the first of 4 activists to be sentenced this week for splattering their blood onto the windows, walls, pictures, and an American flag at the Army and Marine Corps recruiting station March 17, 2003. They splattered their blood around.
Mother.
If it's good enough for the Catholic Church, it's good enough for him. The body of Christ. The body of Christ. And when you stop and think about that, that is so sick. Macking on their boy. Macking on Jesus. No, I don't have time to play that today, sorry. In addition to which, Phil's got that TV show.
Are you sure?
You don't want to be promoting that. The so-called St. Patrick's Four were convicted for damaging government property and entering a military recruiting station for unlawful purposes. U.S. District Judge Thomas McAvoy said he wasn't punishing Burns for protesting, but for how he protested and what he did, you bloody idiot. The court doesn't question your motivation, he said. I know you didn't go there with evil purpose in mind. You went in good conscience, but what you did clearly violated the law. Burns, 45, was fined $250 for contempt, ordered to share payment of $958 in restitution for cleaning up the damage at the recruiting station near Ithaca, New York. How do you like that? At his hearing in Binghamton. Oh, man, all these great places. Elmira, Palmyra, Corning, Cornell. Well, that's another. What? Fredonia, Cheektowaga, Tonawanda, Lackawanna, lack of talent. Oh, that's what they suffer from middays over on the other side. Lack of talent, lack of numbers, lack of listeners, lack of brains. But that's Sidney Rosenberg. He sure turned out to be very popular. He's got like 8 million that hate him like poison. I wish he'd go back to New York and pee on the desk on the Don Imus show. 141 at 560 WQAM. Hey.
You get a lot of big with Neil Rogers on Sports Hole Radio WQAM. All right.
Let it be a little winning. Will he advance? A hard right wing stance.
Absolutely.
Will he ignore all of Bush's wiretaps? Will he comply with citizen spying?
Yes.
And will he end all of women's rights?
Yes.
And would he overturn abortion judgments?
You fairy.
Will he laugh at those strip-searched kids? And if we get high or a little drunk, will he make us rot in jail for life?
Absolutely.
Should we like a little baby?
No.
Liberals say he's insane. Bush will stand by him forever. Oi! But will he take my rights away?
Yes.
Or will a little take my rights away?
You fairy.
Now, don't anybody suggest Enrique for that poll, because if you think he can't sing, then you're just sucking up to George.
He can't
can
sing.
You don't like... I beg your pardon?
He can't sing.
See what I'm saying? That's exactly what I knew you'd say. You
Just 'cause he's
self-hating...
cute
Well, that's because he's
doesn't
not
mean he
Cuban.
can't sing.
He is
No.
cute. George just said Enrique's cute.
No, he's not cute.
Josh, did he just
sing.
say that?
Just because you think he's cute,
No,
you think he can sing.
Didn't George just say that Enrique was cute?
He likes his mole. Moly.
It wasn't Greg always going up and down the hall looking for the mole? Maybe he was looking for Enrique. He sold his house to him. You see that? What have I told you all these years? The one constant is that you can put all these pieces. Nothing is like isolated. All the pieces of the universe fit together into one big whole. That's with the W. W. And see, that's what we got now. W. See that? There's another example. Didn't Greg sell his house in Dade County there to Enrique?
I don't remember. Did he?
Get out of here.
Well, like I'm
Get
keeping
out
track
of
that?
town. Oh, you're just pissed off because you didn't get a Christmas card from Enrique like I did. When it had like a lot of lipstick on it. I think he was.
I think he's so cute and everything.
Was wearing it. I beg your pardon?
Yeah, since he's so cute now.
Yeah. Boy, you are hostile today. What is that all about?
I'm not
hostile. You ought to be. You ought to feel like liberated. What's wrong with you?
I feel great.
Do you? That's about time.
And still, Enrique can't sing.
Well, let's put him on here. Okay, Enrique Iglesias. I'll put him on. I'm making up the list. I'll put it on there.
He ain't going to be anywhere near the top of that list.
What? Well, there you go.
You got some challengers there.
He's got some stiff competition. There's no question about that. Speaking of stiff competition, I just looked at that Dan Kotek's, that Herald thing where they got the blogs. Go on there and vote 400 times. And we're almost even Steven on the total number of votes. And, of course, that doesn't really mean all that much because it's mix and match. In other words, there's crossover, there's slop over between the two stations. But the least popular is by far and away Danny LeBastard. I mean, they hate him like poison. But like between Mad Dog and LeBastard, your favorite? 192 for Mad Dog, 110 for LeBastard. They had number one a head start, and LeBastard got about 60 or 70 of those votes himself. And that's not my just making that up, because last time when Sarney did that on the Sun Sentinel, we got that information right from the horse's butt over there, right from the inside. Our mole on the inside, and it wasn't Enrique either.
Moldy.
Yeah, we got moles inside that building. And of course, Robert Creeper is probably feeding them information too, knowing what a turncoat he is. Is he still there, by the way?
Is he still here?
Yeah.
He's in charge.
Robert Griefer's running the station today.
Oh!
All right, that's why we're all going to vote Republican. There ain't no election today, but gosh dang it, we're going to make one up. Put that big right-wing vote in the ballot box. Now, don't get them confused, because up here, like, red is liberal and blue is conservative.
Okay.
So let's all vote for the red state.
Oh!
Like I said, let's all vote for the blue, whatever. Even I'm confused. 5670560, pound 560. I'm going out and give me a watch. And if I get a phone call in the next 10 minutes and I find out that my check didn't show up today, you have a good time tomorrow on Friday.
All right.
And then, of course, you can say, oh, well, he got suspended for playing those sound effects.
I'll say you're in rehab.
What, fart rehab?
That's right.
Well, no, I think it's long overdue. And now, are you serious, or are you just joshing me that our program director, just a little play on words, is not there today?
Yeah, we've been joshing you the whole day.
Yeah. So, does that do I rest my case on that or what, you know? Well,
no comment.
There are things that happen. Crap happens every single day. And maybe at WVUM that might be okay. Oh, well, he's not here today. He went out to do a ball game, but we'll try to, put the thing back on the air. We'll call somebody up. Right. Very sad what's going on. But you know, I'm going to continue having 20, 30-hour discussions with Joe Bell every day. That's what I told the Humper to do this morning, you know. Save his fat ass. Couple spied on the president of FIU, the FBI said. Carlos M. and Elsa Alvarez spied on FIU President Modesto Medic, giving details in at least one report to their Cuban intelligence handlers about a White House invitation that Medic had received. According to a government affidavit obtained by the unctuous Miami Herald. Let's put him on the poll, too. How many votes has he got? Mitch Medic. FBI agents executed a search warrant at FIU January the 12th. They seized the Alvarez's computers from their respective orifice. That search was a follow-up to the FBI's discovery in the Alvarez home computers, which were linked to those at their orifice, according to an FBI affidavit. You know that affidavit?
Which one?
Is that like an aphrodisiac, affidavit? The document offers a first glimpse at the information the FBI believes the Alvarezes, charged with failing to register as foreign agents, provided to Cuban intelligence agents over the last 3 decades. How do you like that? All them people spying for Fidel.
So gay.
They're gay?
Gay. Maybe.
Christina Mendoza, FIU's general counsel, said,
"You fairy."
Said university officials sealed off the couple's campus offices, and university police have stood guard around the clock. And they're playing Bill Haley in the background, rock around the clock. Mendoza said the FBI agents at the university's request scheduled their search for the night of January 12th so they would not disrupt the campus during the day. All those students that are working feverishly over a hard textbook, right?
Right.
They're working over it feverishly, all right. How's our poll coming with Bob Greasy and all the... Now, which poll is that? Oh, I can't tell.
What's going on? There's an interesting and important data point. When you talk about retention, the forces are being retained at historically high rates, but specifically the lower level soldiers, the soldiers with one.
Why do they waste their time with this dog and pony show? Huh? Why do they? Because no matter what kind of crap he spews them, oh, thank you, Mr. Secretary, and then of course with him it's always yuck, yuck, yuck. You know, everything's like funny. All those people are dying over there. Yuck, yuck, yuck. I say your father's mustache, or in this case, maybe your mama's mustache.
That woman's mustache. Is Neil Rogers.
Watch it.
Oh! Let's abuse some more prisoners. Make them scream nice and loud. Get me some wires and a battery pack. I don't care if they ain't from my rack. Should be used to the torture, 'cause they're just playing their game.
Oh.
In the past, it had to be worse with Saddam Hussein.
He sounds like a moron. It's time. Every time he speaks. It's the way God wants it to be. Wants to take a city and cover it in sweeps. Ray Nagin can.
Ray Nagin can?
Ray Nagin can. Ray Nagin can, 'cause he wants to make New Orleans taste good. And I don't care what people are saying. He sounds like Jesse Jackson. We as black people. His comments are bizarre. Surely God is mad. He compares the locals to a Willy Wonka bar. Chocolate. Ray Nagin can. Ray Nagin can? Yes, Ray Nagin can. Ray Nagin can, 'cause he wants to make New Orleans taste good.
It's time for us to come together. It's time for us to rebuild a New Orleans, the one that should be uptown or wherever they are. This city will be chocolate, a chocolate New Orleans.
He never takes the blame for anything he says.
Chocolate at the end of the day.
Put that chocolate in some coffee and you'll up Juan Valdez. Ray Nagin can. Ray Nagin can.
You know I can.
Ray Nagin can, 'cause he wants to make New Orleans taste good.
You can't have New Orleans no other way. It wouldn't be New Orleans.
Bye. When it comes to sports.
Blue 89!
We're the authority. Sports Radio 560, WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
Tengo tanto pellejo que se perdió.
Kelleher.
You fairy.